Have everybody in the back, get everybody fired, and go 4-14 or whatever the Jets were this year.
You said a would you rather. So did you watch any of that KU game last night?
I did. I watched about the first half of that game. Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, the reason college basketball, right? For me, last night was kind of a microcosm of that. Nobody can hit a shot. And they just take 3-point shot after 3-point shot after 3-point shot.
This is why the NBA is underrated. Because everybody's like, oh, they just shoot all the time and score. It's like, yeah, because they're really good at it.
Yeah, they're good at it. No, I don't mind NBA players shooting the three because they can actually make the shot. But college kids, for the most part, just can't make the shot. But they're going to continue to take the shot.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. Because to me, this is where you kind of get that. You kind of get to dip into college basketball right now because it is conference play. Like last night was number 2 versus number 9.
That's a big game.
That was Iowa State's Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right. And they don't really have anything else other than Iowa State basketball in there. There's either Iowa or Iowa State, obviously. But this is where you can kind of watch because you're waiting for things to start, or you're pivoting to the NBA, or maybe you're watching guys' grocery games. I'm just describing myself at this point.
Sure.
But you tune into these games, you kind of see what these teams are about. And I think the biggest takeaway that I had last night, because I've got a group text of half of the guys are Mizzou fans, the other half are KU fans. And I, made a text that one of the KU fans didn't like, and he was like, oh yeah, let's just bitch about a 9 seed that has 6 losses on the season. I said no. I said the original text was, this isn't your typical or classic Bill Self Kansas team. And I think what you're seeing in college basketball is that now, like in college football, everybody's got money.
That's exactly right.
Everybody's got the opportunity to transfer, right? Yep. And there are schools like Mizzou that every year will just hit the transfer portal. And Denny Gates will go try to find 5 players that can play his system, and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. Whereas KU's a school that has obviously the money to do it and the history and all that, Bill Self, where I think they're a team, and I was telling Alex Gold this yesterday, where they're a team like UConn, where you recruit your guys, you make sure they're paid with NIL, and you keep them. You don't go get the guy that's going to be there for a year and leave, or the guy that's going to play 1 year and go to the NBA. You have to build those foundational sort of teams because you look at what Hurley did at UConn. Back-to-back titles. Hard to do, but he did it with the same core of guys. They stuck around, they bought in. Whereas not everybody has that capability to go pick guys out of the portal and put something together and make it work. And this has been probably the biggest struggle that Bill Self. Again, look, they've only lost 4 games.
Yeah, but that's a big number for KU at this point of the season,
they're 3-2 in the conference. They've lost at home to West Virginia. They lost at Iowa State. That's a tough game.
Tough game.
Right? And they still beat the other teams. But, you're starting now to see, the division in the college sport of basketball, at least from what I've seen in a matter of, 2 weeks of watching it, is that, Tennessee's the number 1 team.
Auburn is the number 1 team now, I think. Aren't they? Didn't they lose? Or Tennessee?
But Tennessee lost to Florida, got smoked.
Yep.
Then Missouri beats Florida. Then Iowa State plays Kansas, beats Kansas. Kansas loses to West Virginia. There's just so much more, which I think will make for a more fun March Madness tournament like we've seen in the past, the equal sort of talent that is around there. But, to think that, Bill Self is going to just cruise through the Big 12 and going to go 29-3 every year again is I think, erroneous now because I think everybody else now has a piece or has the opportunity to take a piece of that pie.
They do, and that's the beauty of the NIL, and that's the beauty of the transfer portal. But that's also the downfall for fan bases like Kansas, like Duke, like Kentucky, like North Carolina that are used to being on the top of the perch right now. The people who are going to be affected most by NIL, and I say this about football too, I mean, eventually your Alabamas, your Ohio States, and places like that are probably going to take a little bit of a hit because there's going to be other programs that come in and offer money, like BYU in basketball, paying some kids $7 million. Nobody thought that would be the case that BYU was going to go out there and dominate on, the basketball recruiting end. And so they were able to do that. But I think, as a fan of a big-time program, if you're a KU fan right now, you really do have to adjust your expectations because all of college basketball, all of college sports right now is undergoing a change. And while I think a lot of KU fans probably like the NIL from a football perspective because it allows you to go out and get football players, from a basketball perspective, it's going to be kind of a wake-up call. There's no secret as to why Coach K, Jay Wright, and Roy Williams all walked away. They didn't want to deal with this kind of stuff. They knew eventually their perch wasn't going to be that high anymore. The playing field was going to start to get equal. And Bill Self has done his best work at KU and won his championships at KU when he was able to have those 4-year classes. That's just not the case anymore. You can't expect anymore people to come in and play 6 years like Perry Ellis or 17 years like this Hunter Dickinson. Like, this is not going to be the case anymore.
Every year now that ends, you basically have to recruit your team all over again. And that's going to get old. It really is. It's going to get old for a lot of fans. And I think it's going to get old for guys like Bill Self who are up there like, all right, I've had enough of this stuff, because you're dealing with players right now who are hearing from other teams, hearing from other agents, hey, we can pay you this kind of money, we can give you that kind of cash, we'll pay you more than what Kansas is paying you right now. And so it's open season on recruiting after every year. And Bill Self's best opportunities and best chances to win have always been with those 4-year kids. And I don't know that that's going to be the case anymore. And the reason I say fans need to adjust their line of thinking, I saw this tweet from a guy watching the game last night, Big JKU316.
And he says, KU basketball just deserves better. Regardless of what all Twitter hacks want to tell you, KU spends too much money and has too much support for it to be like this. This is a guy who's rooting for the number 9 team in the nation right now, right? Like, so adjust your expectations. There are no more guarantees that KU is going to skate to a Big 12 championship, that they're going to have run roughshod over the Big 12 conference, or any school's going to do that right now in college basketball, because the ground has changed, the landscape has changed, everything is completely different from what we used to know. And I do like it better big picture, because we're finally taking care of the players, and if that means some teams have to take a step back and some teams move forward, so be it.
Yeah, I mean, I think to go back to your original take, I think Roy and Coach K probably stepped down because of just like age and health. Like, Roy was falling apart. Like, he was
but
collapsing.
This pushed it, you know?
Yeah, Jay Wright I can't really defend. I think he probably got into TV and was like everybody else that does it. It's like, this is kind of nice. I don't have to recruit.
But he got into TV because this pushed him into TV, and then it's like, I ain't going back to that.
And yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to have emotional fans because you lose a game. But again, you lost to Iowa State on the road.
That's right.
You have 4 losses on the season. You're 3-2 in conference. And I think the other thing, too, is you look at conference realignment. Like, you have new teams in the Big 12. Like, Houston's in the Big 12. They're a good team. They will always be a good team. I mean, Calvin Sampson gets that team.
He's a great coach.
He knows how to recruit, legally or illegally, back in the day, but now he doesn't have to worry about any of that.
None of that, yeah. Kelvin can make all the phone calls he wants now, and Bruce Pearl can cook all the hot dogs he wants in Tennessee.
And that's the thing. Is like, I think KU will still probably finish the season with maybe like 6 or 7 losses and 26, 27 wins. They'll be a 3 seed in the tournament.
They're still going to be a top 3 or 4 seed in the NCAA tournament.
I think the reality of it is the fact that it's not like every year you're going to go 2 losses in the conference, maybe one tough one to, in Bramlage, where you might have to play a rowdy K-State team that's always up to play you, and then you might lose at Iowa State, and then the rest of the season you're just going to skate through it. Well, now you have UCF, you have Houston, you have, Iowa State's gotten really good. Their coach, he knows how to do 3 things really well: recruit kids, he knows how to wear a very small, tight shirt, and how to comb his hair. That shirt's got to get a little looser. That made me, it was giving me like, I was like,
I thought he was going to suffocate in that thing.
That's his style, baby. He lets those pythons show.
But good for them at Iowa State, man, for doing this the right way and paying the right players and getting them in there and being the number 2 team in the nation. And they beat Kansas by almost 20 points last night.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas kind of quit towards the end. Like, they hit a 3, it was like 15, and it was just kind of like one of those things where the kid's like, all right, this is over, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, KU got it down to 5. They missed a free throw rebound, could have gone down the court, made a bucket. Iowa State got the rebound, a better hustle play, hit the 3, won. The other thing, too, is that, like, you're going to miss in transfers, too. Like, there's a reason why Hunter Dickinson's still in college.
Right.
He's soft.
Right.
There's a reason why DeJuan Harris is still playing point guard for Kansas. He's not going to be a pro.
Right.
So he's
and
good
that's
enough.
fine. That's fine to be a college kid and just play college basketball. But we've taken that away. We've taken that away.
You look at Mizzou last year, didn't win a conference game. This year, they look fantastic.
It doesn't matter what you did last year, right? Anymore. And with the NIL, like all these football teams like KU that didn't have success this year, go out and spend some money, get some players in there, find you a quarterback, and all of a sudden you're back, to winning football games. And it's that way for basketball. And it's good for the fans.
Do you have an issue with looking ahead? I ask that because so many coaches do that, and then it just never goes well. We'll bring that up on the other side. Mac Morey, Bob Fescoe, Dusty Likens. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan. You're home. Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. Stop me if you've heard this before. New year, new me. Yeah, well, we've heard that before, but hey, it's not just about you. It's about the relationship that you're in to try to, keep that steady relationship going. Add some more to it. Get that extra spark. Have that more energy. So if you're having these sort of issues or you're having these questions in your head, let me give you the answer. It's simply Heartland Men's Health. The treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Schedule a visit with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes a medical consult with the licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff, and if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They, again, have 3 locations that can serve you. Overland Park, Kansas, Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So, fellas, get ahead of the curve. Get started before the new year and go see my friends at Heartland Men's Health or call them today at 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
I'll tell you what, my friends, you got the opportunity now, if you're in the state of Missouri, to download the Underdog app and start playing right now, because Underdog is available to play in the state of Missouri. And Underdog is the best place to cash in on all of your takes during the playoffs. Which players are going to go off and which ones are ice cold. And with over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all of your favorite athletes' performances. We had some fun on the Underdog app over the weekend. We took home a $98 prize just going higher or lower on player stats. And you're starting to look forward to this weekend. Patrick Mahomes, when you're looking at him, first half passing touchdowns, 0.5. You going higher or lower than that? Or what about total touchdowns for Mahomes? 1.5. Higher or lower? Well, with the Underdog app, you can have all that fun and make your picks. And with their Champs game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower than a player's stats on yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and more. And with Underdog's double flex option, you can even take 2 L's and turn them into a W, because every dog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if an early injury causes your entry to lose. So download the Underdog app now. It's the best place to play Champs. Download the app, sign up with promo code BOB, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
It's Brian Baldinger with the Journey to the Big Game presented by Hyundai. After a wild weekend, Detroit and Philadelphia look to continue their hot streaks while Kansas City gets their first shot at a three-peat. However, one game stands above the rest as the MVP favorites in Baltimore and Buffalo go head-to-head in an epic playoff battle. Journey to the Big Game is presented by Hyundai. Now you can buy a new Hyundai at Amazon. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for more details.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
It's cold outside, and the cupboard is bare. No worries. Let Hy-Vee do the shopping with Aisles Online. It's easy. Go to Hy-Vee.com, choose your store, select your items, and schedule a convenient pickup or delivery time. Right now, get $10 off any $125 Aisles Online purchase. What could be better? We do the shopping and deliver your groceries. You stay warm and save money. Download the Aisles Online app or go to Hy-Vee.com today.
As the Chiefs go for a three-peat in the big game, Hy-Vee's making my life easier. Hy-Vee's my one-stop shop for all game day needs. From official Chiefs apparel to fan favorites, including wings, ready-to-bake pizza, and freshly prepared dips like spinach artichoke, street corn, and buffalo chicken dip. Hy-Vee has Chiefs-themed cookies and sheet cakes and cupcakes as well. Plus, don't forget the Hy-Vee Wine and Spirits department for all of your game day beverages. Elevate your home gate at Hy-Vee, the official grocery sponsor of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by award-winning Johnny's Barbecue in Olathe.
Since 1977, Johnny's Barbecue has been serving up award-winning barbecue, featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Experience Casey's hidden gem of barbecue, right off Highway 56 in Olathe. Dine in, carry out, delivery, and the best barbecue catering in town. Johnny'sBarbecueKC.com. Johnny's Barbecue. Taste the smoke.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. The Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan traffic.
So I did a deep dive on X, formerly known as Twitter, about, what we did our poll question on yesterday.
Yeah.
The left tackle position.
Who ended up winning that yesterday? I would imagine Tooney did, but probably wasn't by as big a margin.
I think it was 62%. I'm scrolling down to get the actual factual number. 61.1% to 38.9% said Joe Tooney out of 535 votes.
Still amazes me that it was that close. You know, technically a landslide, but still, I mean, that's a lot closer than I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be an 80-20 split. I really did.
Yeah, 4 out of every 10 people are like, yeah, DJ. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What is today, the 16th? No. Yeah, 16th. 2 days away from the playoff game against the Houston Texans, which, you can't look too far ahead. You can't think about who you're playing in the AFC championship game because you're not there yet. Because you see a lot of these people that get, and there's audio of this that I'm going to bring up. I'll go get it later. But there's a couple of instances where, I don't know, like the Minnesota one wasn't Kevin O'Connell's fault, but you remember when Dan Campbell's like, I'll see you in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And then the Rams put the audio up on the wall,
right.
Which whatever that means.
Right.
Can't do that. And then our guy, Sean Payton, said that he never lacks confidence and that he was looking forward to seeing the Chiefs for a third time. Quote, there's a lot of confidence in this team. If we could get past that game, the next game we felt real good about.
Yeah, that would be us, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You beat the backup scene.
Yeah, and see, so this is relevant to a conversation that I think I've had. You probably had with friends of yours as well, Mac as well. And people were like, yeah, I don't know if I want to play the Broncos because I don't want to play them for a third time. Well, you didn't really play them 3 times.
Right.
Right. Like your backups played. And they have to come here in the playoffs with Bo Nix. And we saw what Bo Nix looks like in the playoffs on the road. It wasn't good, right?
It was not good, no.
82 yards after the first drive and then threw for 0 yards passing in the third quarter. I think that, this is why a lot of people get annoyed with Andy Reid with his, press conferences because sometimes when you play a team that's just, not as superior as you, say you're playing Carolina.
Okay.
What's Andy Reid going to say when they bring him to the podium?
We're looking forward to the challenge of playing Carolina, well-coached team.
That's a good team down there.
That's a good team down there, yep.
Never, ever, ever are you going to hear Andy Reid be like, yeah, we're really, listen, we're looking to play this team next week, to Buffalo and Baltimore.
Right.
Andy's got those guys. He knows what they're going to do. He doesn't need to focus on that yet.
Right.
You got to focus on the now, and you can't focus on the then or the future or anything like this because, yeah, you want to play the Chiefs, man, but, if that was the mindset, and I get it, confidence, and the quote could be misguided, whatever you want to say, but, I'm glad you have confidence in your team, but, if you were thinking about the Chiefs before you were focusing on the Bills, that's why you got blasted 30+7. There's a reason for that. So I love the fact that, you have that energy and that confidence, but again, you've got to, maintain, low tones when it comes to what's next because there is no tomorrow. There is no, it's you win or you go home. And, that's why I think so many of the good teams in the NFL are where they are because they know what they have to focus on. They can't worry about, because like I guarantee you right now, Josh Allen ain't talking to his teammates like, hey, man, we win this game, we get Kansas City again. They're focusing on Baltimore.
Yeah, you got to focus on Baltimore. So that's Sean Payton talking about the potential of playing the Chiefs. Here's the thing. Sean doesn't have a game to get ready for this week, so he's got nothing else to do except, talk. That right there, I hate to break the news to Denver fans. As long as Sean Payton's the coach of the Denver Broncos, they will not be beating Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, you gave Patrick Mahomes bulletin board material for next year. And I will say this, other than that 38-0 game with the backups in there, Denver has played Kansas City very good at Arrowhead Stadium 2 times since Sean Payton has taken over, right? That first Thursday night game where they almost won, and then obviously the blocked field goal game. Fantastic performances by Denver. But you beat the Chiefs in 2 consecutive years, one where Patrick Mahomes had the flu and couldn't stand, and 2, you beat the backups. And so you've had some success of keeping it close against the Chiefs, but against the real Chiefs, the Denver Broncos have yet to win. So when Sean Payton says that kind of stuff, I start to think to myself, why are you saying this stuff now? Like, why are you stirring up the hornet in January when there's no need to do that? Because that's what that did yesterday. That stirred up the hornet's nest here in Kansas City. And Patrick Mahomes, he took those notes, he wrote those down, closed his book, and when the schedule comes out, he'll have those Bronco games circled because now Sean Payton and his team believe that they've arrived and they're ready to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. And I hate to break the news to Sean Payton, those 16-14 games, those close games that you were playing with the Chiefs are probably now going to turn into blowouts because now it got personal.
Yeah, maybe he bookmarked it, but I think I think he's too focused on what time it is. Like, I think
he's aware of everything.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. I mean, I'm sure he bookmarked it and just, set it back. And then when they play each other again
we'll get
next
back
year,
to it later.
It'll be like, yeah, we're really just, and he leaves little Easter eggs whenever he says stuff every once in a while.
Yep.
But no, he's already on Instagram putting up pictures of himself in the practice at St. Joe throwing the football. I was like, that's where the season started. It was posted, I think, about an hour ago. So he's up and at it early. I do think that, this is kind of one of those things where, I get what Sean Payton is saying. I think he just said it in a weird way. I think if he was like, yeah, we just didn't play good against Buffalo, they outplayed us, they outmatched us, but, we really want another shot at Kansas City, and we were really hoping that we'd get that. It's like, nah, that's probably the way you want to say it. Don't say we were looking forward to the next week's matchup, because, Buffalo... if you can't beat Buffalo, then you definitely can't beat Kansas City in the playoffs. Ask Buffalo about Kansas City, right? They know who's there. Everybody that's left in the playoffs outside of Houston, because they're actually going to be here, but Buffalo and Baltimore, they know exactly where the AFC Championship game is. Hell, they know who's going to be in it because he's been in it every year he's been a starting quarterback.
That's right.
Everybody already knows where you're going to have to go or who you're going to have to beat in the AFC Championship, because it's always been Patrick Mahomes since he's been in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't exercise that, right? They don't bring that out. Like Lamar Jackson is like, we got a cold-ass game in Buffalo this week, and that's what I'm focused on. I know where the AFC Championship game is. I know who's going to be in that game.
But you got to win this week to get to that game.
Because it's irrelevant until it's relevant,
Absolutely.
which is the obvious take. But yeah, I mean, I think that's where that matters. Like, if Sean Payton's that hung up on the Chiefs, it's like, hey, man, you got to focus on what your matchup is this week and then move on. Because, again, you look at the thing in Minnesota, right? McVay heard that from Dan Campbell, bookmarked it, and said, see you in 2 weeks. We're going to lose?
Yeah, right.
No, you're not.
No,
one, this is going to be at our house. It wasn't. Eventually, it was in Arizona. But, again, that was a masterclass of a leadership of a coach with Sean McVay, because he went out there, he gave his guys just enough. I'm not saying you have to put videos and do what we do, like we're going to do tomorrow, and play all these Chiefs receipts and all this stuff where people doubted Kansas City and try to build up the audience. I think all you've got to do is be like, hey, by the way, that team over there said you're going to lose, and I coached that coach over there, and I know exactly how to beat his ass, and watch me do it. Stafford, make sure we're doing this. Puka, make sure you're over here. And he beat him almost with a flex. Cooper Kupp was irrelevant.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp was irrelevant in that game. But that game, I think, and I was thinking about this the last couple of days, the leadership that Sean McVay showed in that game and really in this entire 2 weeks of what's been going on, out in Los Angeles. Even LeBron weighed in on it yesterday. He goes, this is really taking a toll on everybody mentally. It's very tough to get through all this. And Sean McVay's team did not look like a team that was affected by what was going on with the wildfires and the displacement of everybody in Los Angeles. And to me, that's the definition of a true leader. And not enough is being made, I don't think, about how the Rams played and how Sean McVay led that team to a win over the Minnesota Vikings at a neutral site when everybody's dealing with real life stuff, right? A lot of times in sports, we don't deal with real life stuff. The players never have to deal with anything that's real. But really, over the last 5 years, everybody has dealt with real life stuff, from COVID to where we are right now with these wildfires out in LA. And he led. Harbaugh didn't. That's the difference between McVay and Harbaugh. Harbaugh's team went on the road, and they looked completely out of sorts right from the get-go. I mean, it was not a good performance by them at all. And that's why coaches matter. That's why leadership matters. That's why I'm so hard on these coaches in the NFL, and I don't believe in a lot of these coaches in the NFL because I don't believe they're good leaders. I don't believe they're good leaders of men. And I don't care about your X's and O's and all that kind of stuff. If you can't be a communicator, if you can't be a leader, if you can't be somebody that everybody wants to follow, then you're not going to be a good head coach. And that's what happened with Sean McVay. He led his team and rolled the Minnesota Vikings. The other LA team wasn't led, and they pooped the bed. And, you start to look about all these coaches that are left, other than the Eagles, which all of a sudden now all these stories on Nick Sirianni being this great players coach are starting to come out. Every one of these coaches that is left is more of a leader than they are of a coach, and that's why they're still standing. How good a coach is Dan Campbell? I don't know, but he's a leader. That guy is a leader. You're going to follow that guy, right? You're going to follow Andy Reid. You're going to follow DeMeco Ryans. You're going to follow Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh. You're going to follow Sean McDermott. Like, these guys are leaders right now that we have. And other than Nick Sirianni, that's why we're here. That's why these 8 teams are left, because these coaches have led this organization. And when you can lead, you can win.
Yeah, I think lead's kind of vague because I think there's the way you have to look at a head coaching is you have to have a system that's believable, achievable, and then you have to prove it. And I think when you look at these coaches that are left in here, like Dan Quinn took over in a perfect situation, in my opinion. He took an offensive coordinator who's got a little bit of clout that went away for a little bit, cleared his mind, came back, said, hey, we're going to have this rookie quarterback. I want you to go and check him out. I watched Zach Ertz's interview the other day on The Herd, and 12-year vet, right? And Kingsbury called him and was like, hey, watch the rookie camp. And he's like, why? I'm a 12-year vet. Why do I watch?
What do I care, right?
Whatever. He's like, watch this quarterback. And Zach Ertz watched the quarterback in rookie camp, was like, okay, all right, this is nice, right? Like, this is what basically Kelsey did with Mahomes, right?
Yeah,
He was, whatever with Alex Smith, pretty good, and then realized all right, I'm going to turn my career completely around. It's believable. Andy Reid's draft this guy. He's going to put in a system that we're all going to jump on, and we're going to move forward with this. Going for a 3-peat.
Right. Who was the quarterback last year in Washington? It wasn't Taylor Heineke. Was he last year or was he 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. Last year was Sam Howell.
Yeah.
The rookie out of North Carolina.
Thurston's kid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it.
James's brother, who's a board op here.
Yeah.
So I think that's the other thing, too. Like, McVay, look, his system was believable. Jared Goff, whatever, did well, got Stafford, turned the organization around, gave him a focal point, showed him what to do. It's believable. Whether or not we believe in Sirianni,
the players clearly do, I guess.
His record would indicate that he's doing something right. Now, he has a super talented team. He's got a very good general manager, and he's making sure that it stays afloat until it doesn't, which is in the playoffs. But, look, his win-loss record is probably the best in football in the last, in the NFC at least, in the last 3 years.
They've been great. They've been a good football
Campbell's
team.
Up there. He's up there.
McCarthy's probably up there.
McCarthy is up there, yeah.
Right. And so, when you look at these guys that, in the playoffs, like John Harbaugh, his system, they went and drafted Lamar Jackson 32 overall because everybody thought, I don't know. He took a chance on Lamar. Mm-hmm. He turned Lamar into a believer and a 2-time MVP, and so did Lamar. That system works, and they've moved forward. You look at everybody else in the AFC. Houston, they're doing that now, right? DeMeco Ryans went in there and said, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to lead with an iron fist, and we're going to be a defensive-minded team, and we're going to trust our offense and our rookie quarterback who's super talented. It's working. So, yeah, coaching matters, leadership matters, but if you have a system and it is believable and achievable, then everybody gets behind it. And that's why we always talk about this. You go back to St. Joe, it's hotter than hell, and it's in the middle of summer, and you have to go 45 minutes from your house, maybe more for other people, hour and 20 minutes, whatever it may be. And it's like, why do they do this? Look where they're always at.
They're always at. Yeah,
they've
they're
never
in the
had a
playoffs.
losing season, and they're tighter than a pickle jar, like a lid on a pickle jar. They just nothing gets out, everything stays within the walls, and then it's all of a sudden 15-2, 14-3, 13-4. That's just what they are because everybody's bought in, everybody believes it.
And that's what you have to do. And that's why I look at a lot of these coaches in the NFL, and you're like, oh my God, these guys are out over their skis a lot of the times.
Look at Arthur Smith, man.
Arthur Smith, not a good coach.
Look at the guy in 2 years ago in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Jameis Winston pulled rank.
Yeah.
He was like, kneel
Dennis
it out.
Allen, right? Was that guy's name? Yeah.
He's like, Jameis, kneel it out. And Jameis goes, we ain't doing that.
No.
Give this guy an incentive. Screw this guy. And he cost that coach basically his job because then the next year in the locker room, nobody listened to that coach and they fired him immediately, halfway through the season.
Well, I think they fired him in week 6 this year, right?
Arthur Smith, same kind of guy in Atlanta. He's like, I just know more. It's like when you let your ego take over what your team can be, then, and sometimes you have to have a little bit of an ego.
No, you do have to have an ego, but you have to know how to utilize that
like
ego.
McVay, Campbell, those guys, they know how to use their ego. Like
they're not telling everybody they're the smartest guy in the room.
No.
People just know that that's the guy that you're going to follow, and that's why hiring a head coach in this league, I think for a long period of time, and I think it's changing. It seems like it's changing a little bit this year. It seems like these teams are doing a little bit more due diligence right now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Jets have interviewed 11 guys for their job, and the Bears have interviewed 13 guys for their job. And I know the Twitter, smarties will say, "Oh my God, that's so many people." I think it's great. Cast a wide net. See who's out there. See what you have the opportunity to do and to hire, and don't just be focused in on somebody because Peter Schrager said he's the next offensive coordinator that should be a head coach. I mean, and that's where it's been over these last couple of years. It's like, oh, well, we heard this guy's name on NFL Network in July, and so if he has a good season by the end of the year, we're going to hire him as a head coach. And that's just not the way that you do it. I think Mike McCarthy right now is a guy that should have a job before anybody else in this hiring cycle because he is a successful coach. Pete Carroll, I guess, is in the hiring cycle right now. He should be hired as well. But like Mike McCarthy, we were kind of talking about this yesterday. Guy gets fired in Dallas, 3 straight years of 12 wins or more. And I'm looking at Mike McCarthy and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I think Mike McCarthy gets the short end of the stick. It's easy to rip on Mike McCarthy. And I was one of those guys, because I was talking with Josh yesterday. He goes, you remember him now? I'm like, yeah, because I never remembered who he was up in Green Bay. But the more information that we're starting to get and starting to realize, Mike McCarthy has had to deal with 2 of the most narcissistic people in the history of the world, Jerry Jones and Aaron Rodgers, and still managed to win games by having to manage those egos. Look what Aaron Rodgers did to the Jets organization. Single-handedly destroyed that organization from the inside out. Imagine what he was doing in Green Bay, and Mike McCarthy held that thing together for all that time. Yeah, they only won 1 Super Bowl, but it may be a miracle that they won that Super Bowl with selfish Rodgers up there playing quarterback and being narcissistic. And then with Jerry Jones, I mean, my God, you went from one narcissist to the next narcissist. You didn't have your starting quarterback this year, and you still won 5 in a row at one point of the season. I think Mike McCarthy should be the guy that the Bears do go out there and hire. I think he's the best available coach right now.
So, yeah, I don't know. Look, we just talked about having the believable and achievable system. Mike McCarthy, it just seems that when the playoffs get there, it struggles. And you had Aaron Rodgers for those years in his prime, won 1 Super Bowl. Now again, I don't know how much of that's on Rodgers or how much that is on game prep or how much that is altogether whatever. Because I know that it got really sour between those 2 towards the end.
Sure, but Aaron Rodgers is the key in all of this. He's the common denominator in every one of these things that have gone south.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is there, and
so what I will say is the 2 years that McCarthy was at his worst was when Dak Prescott was out. Right. This year he was out, and his first year as head coach he was out as well.
Right.
The next 3, obviously 12-win seasons, but again last year you lost to the Packers with a rookie, no, not a rookie quarterback, but a young quarterback at home where you didn't lose all year, and somehow you lost.
Yeah. Got motorboated in that game, too.
That's got to be on McCarthy's shelf. And I think the other thing that I have been told and that I've read is that he's not the most, I don't want to say family guy, but he's not the most when Andy Reid walks in the locker room, he can tell you about, hey, how's your young kid doing? Or how's this?
He's got a connection with the players.
Right.
Yeah.
McCarthy's more of just a red ass, introverted, like doesn't really care. He just wants to get to business, move on, and do that. That's just from what I've been told, what I've read about him, and I think that goes a long way too. So that obviously doesn't suit well with the two names that you mentioned in Rodgers and Jones. Like when they have that kind of guy who just like, yeah, whatever. It's like, hey, listen to me when I'm talking to you. It's like, then it's over. So, I mean, yes, McCarthy's record in the regular season is fantastic. I believe he's 11-11 in the playoffs. So he's 500, which is still,
it's not bad.
I think we look at other people's record and you're like, well, Andy Reid's 43-17. It's like,
but look at Andy Reid before Patrick Mahomes, though.
Right.
You know,
never won in the playoffs really with Alex Smith.
Right.
Won one game, I think,
one
with Alex
game,
Smith.
that Houston game. Yeah.
And then obviously had other losses, but I think that's the problem with McCarthy is I think that like his team doesn't necessarily have that connection. Now, again, this is why the other day we talked for many
Do you think Bill Belichick cared about anybody's kids, though, either? You know, when he was the coach of New England?
Yes, because I think he was different to the media than he was to the players. I think he just didn't like answering questions. Like, you look at his personality now off the field, I think he was that guy in the locker room. But when everybody asked him questions about stuff that annoys him, right? Like, I bet Ned knew everybody's kids, but when everybody's out there like, so you pitched blah, blah, blah in the 8th. Like, yeah, I pitched him in the 8th. I didn't have any other bullpen options, and he was coming off 2 days rest.
Yeah.
They get annoyed by that. That's why these guys are better now than they were like Saban and Belichick because, one, they're not prepping every single day. They're not, getting ready for games. They're not having to answer questions.
I understand about the answering of the questions and how it could get annoying.
I think that's
I have kids.
Yeah, I think that's the Belichick thing. But I do think that, like with McCarthy, there's something there because to get one title with Rodgers, even if he was an a-hole, like to get one title in that run where he was in his prime, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Because like playoff football should have been a lot different because
But ultimately, the players have to go out there and play.
Right. And I mean, the other thing, too, is that, like, for Mac, 5-6 years, Rodgers was the best quarterback of football, and it wasn't close.
But he lost to Eli in the playoffs.
So did Brady.
Yeah, I know.
Twice.
Yeah, twice in the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. And it's not a shot at Eli.
The Giants are just that weird team that, like, just somehow, like, pissed a lot of people off, and it just happened twice.
Yeah, but people are talking about Eli getting ready to go to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Like and he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. You can preach all you want about regular season, but when the big games came and he was in the playoffs, needed to make Eli made those plays, right? He was there. Aaron Rodgers didn't make those plays, and that's the difference between Eli Manning and Aaron Rodgers. Like, Eli Manning made the plays when you need to make the plays. If Aaron Rodgers is going to have the title of being this great player, right? You can't fail in the postseason. Eventually, you got to go out there and perform, right? Patrick Mahomes performs. Michael Jordan performs in the playoffs. The big-time guys, Tom Brady, all these guys that are considered the best, they show up when it matters the most. And Aaron Rodgers, you're the quarterback of the team. You are going to wear those losses more than anybody else. And I think we're starting to see with the way that this thing has gone on with the Jets, maybe Aaron Rodgers was a bigger problem, and maybe Mike McCarthy worked wonders there in Green Bay. I think he's going to be the next Bears head coach, and I think that's the right move for the Chicago Bears.
Well, he better figure out how to be more wholesome, because I don't think that's the right play for Caleb Williams. I think he needs a young offensive coordinator. I think he needs the Kevin O'Connell type. That's my opinion, though.
But the Bears also, I mean, they've had these coaches. Like the Bears are in a, if the Bears were coming off Bill Belichick or Bill Parcells or Andy Reid or somebody like that, I would say, okay, I'm with you like that. The Bears need to find a way to revitalize their organization, bring credibility back to their organization, and win. And when Mike McCarthy has a good quarterback, he wins games.
Fair point. We're doing a T-shirt drop-off tomorrow at 11:30. Carrington and Rob, they'll be out there with T-shirts thanks to our friends over at DM Law. You know that. Mike's got this. Coming up, remakes. There's two new remakes they're making. I don't know why, and I don't know what they're going to do next because I think there's a few that should just be completely off limits. 913-586-7965. That's Jay Southland Tow Service Text Line. Mac Morey, Bob Fescoe, Dusty Likens here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, we have a game coming up at Arrowhead this weekend, and that means Smokehouse Barbecue has their game day special available. Whether you're going out to the game or if you're watching it at home in your warm living room, let Smokehouse Barbecue be there for you. A pound of burnt ends, a pound of wings, a slab of baby back ribs, a quart of beans, All the setups you need for just $79.95 at Feed 6, and Smokehouse Barbecue will take care of it all. Dusty and I were talking this morning about how barbecue is great reheated. It's an unbelievable way to go about your tailgate. So you're thinking, oh, Saturday game, when am I going to get the Smokehouse and get all this? You know what you do? Go today. Go tomorrow. Grab that stuff. Get it cold. Keep it in your refrigerator. Then on game day, warm it up, and it's ready to go, and it will be absolutely awesome. And then if you have leftovers, especially with those burnt ends, make yourself a burnt end omelet the next morning. You're absolutely going to love it from Smokehouse Barbecue. They've got 3 locations to serve you in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa, and you can order all of your game day needs at SmokehouseBBQ.com. That's SmokehouseBBQ.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Hey, diamond lovers. Shane Company knows fine jewelry. That means a lot when you're looking for a dream engagement ring, a beautiful keepsake, or the perfect gift. When it's this important, you want someone who knows exactly how to work with your budget. Not against it. Someone who knows you deserve a piece more beautiful than you've ever imagined. Through 4 generations as a family business, we've always sourced our diamonds and gemstones directly, cut out the middleman, and passed the savings on to you. Come see us in store and compare our wide selection of diamonds, rubies, and a rainbow of sapphires in different shapes and sizes. So many in stock and ready to take home today. Create your dream engagement ring in 3 easy steps. Or pick a perfectly preset ring that's created by our in-house design team. Browse our selection of fine jewelry gifts for everyone in your life, from diamond and gemstone studs to must-have tennis bracelets and beautiful birthstone necklaces. With our everyday competitive prices and unmatched free lifetime warranty, Shane Company is your go-to destination for fine jewelry. Visit shaneco.com and come in to see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Your skin tells a story. At KMC Dermatology and Med Spa, we understand that stress, time, and life can leave their mark, but it's never too late to refresh, renew, and restore your skin. With 25 expert providers across multiple locations, we make glowing skin easy. Same week appointments? Absolutely. Select Saturday appointments available? You got it. From medical dermatology to advanced aesthetic treatments, we're here to help you look and feel your best. Schedule your appointment today at kmcpa.com. KMC Dermatology and Med Spa, beyond the surface.
Hey, it's Gold once again for my friends at Max Motors. In all the winter weather we just had, you were digging yourself out of the snow, and maybe you were navigating the roads and realizing how nice it is to have that four-wheel drive vehicle. Maybe you were thinking, what would it be like to have a four-wheel drive vehicle? Well, at Max Motors, they have new 2024 Ram 2500s up to $16,000 off MSRP. Stock number C240005. See dealer for details. Max Motors has the best financing options available with the max trade-in values in the Midwest. Max Motors, the easiest place to buy a car, maxmotors.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Everyone deserves to elevate their beef. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal they'll never forget or impress your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, their Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week, or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Divisional round coverage of the Chiefs and Texans on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Missouri side, 71 northbound starting to slow just a bit between 75th up towards Gregory. Kansas side, 35 northbound moves well. Trip from Olathe into downtown, still 20 minutes. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
take me back. Yeah, Sherman. Right.
Yeah.
So I nailed it.
You did. You said Sherman. Yeah, Mike Sherman is who Mike McCarthy replaced. You said, where did he come from? I said, I know he went to Baker. Other than that, I don't know where else Mike McCarthy. He was with the Chiefs from 93 to 94, 95 to 96 with the Chiefs. And then was the Green Bay Packer quarterback coach in 99.
Okay.
Quarterback coach with the Saints from 00 to 04. OC with the San Francisco 49ers in 05. And then moved on to be the Green Bay Packer head coach in 06. So
yeah, Sherman, man, he had Amon Green, man.
Mm-hmm.
What a running back he was. I love that guy.
So McCarthy and Andy were together in Green Bay then for that year.
Yeah.
99 wasn't that Andy's first year in Philadelphia?
I thought they were together that year. Maybe not. I'll have to look.
I think 99 was Andy's first year in Philadelphia. It sure seems like McCarthy replaced Andy with the Green Bay Packers at that point in time
wild.
at quarterback coach. Yeah.
If you're familiar with the song that you hear, that is a theme from the movie The Goonies, correct? Yeah, that's what I thought. Did you like that movie?
Yeah, it was fun.
That was probably like in your wheelhouse growing up.
In the 80s growing up, yeah. I don't know that I've watched it since I was a child.
Really?
Yeah.
I tend to watch every once in a while. Look, I will say, because we were sitting in our post-production meeting yesterday, which is, if you want to know how that goes, we all sit in a chair and just start yelling at each other ideas. Like it's not like it's not an angry yell.
No, it's just
it's
talk.
just that everybody gets on their phone because we're doing the show. We don't really tune into in depth, but it's just like, did you see this? Did you hear this? Did you see this? Hey, watch that AI Jerry Jones interview again.
All very disjointed.
Yes,
I fired him because he was a pork chop.
Yeah, that's all, folks. But did you know that when he says that, he's saying, I believe? Porky the Pig, he's going, I believe. That's all, folks. Today you learned? My sister told me that. Shout out Summer.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I just thought he was just making a noise.
Yeah, he's going,
I believe. That's all, folks.
He's going, I believe. That's all, folks.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
Has Porky Pig been canceled yet? Because a lot of Looney Tunes have been,
Yeah.
That was a Saturday morning, man. Loved it. Loved Looney Tunes.
But we were sitting there, and I got this, announcement from like a movie following on Twitter or X, whatever. I don't even know what to call it. And
TikTok.
It said, well, you've got 2 days left of that. It said that they're gonna do a remake of the Gremlins and the Goonies.
And that's when we ended the meeting and we all went our separate ways.
No, we ended the meeting because we got a FaceTime call and said, you guys hear about Bailey Zappi? Where he's going to go next year? I'm kidding. Shout out Jay Binkley. But, I feel like these are two movies that are just kind of untouchable. I get remakes are going to happen because Hollywood's lazy and they don't know what they're going to do anymore. And I think I've told you guys this 100 times. This is why I think Christopher Nolan's so great. Guys like James Cameron are so great, and Spielberg and those guys, which even Spielberg kind of lost it because he just started doing Indiana Jones 5, 6, 7, 8. But you can't redo the Goonies.
It's a 40th anniversary of the Goonies, too, which is interesting. No, you look, I'll be honest with you. You shouldn't be redoing any movie, quite honestly.
Because what they'll do is they'll try to, make it up to speed. Where,
modernize it, yeah.
Yeah, they'll, because, the Goonies, right? If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, but, the end, they get to the pirate ship. Kids today are like, what's a pirate ship?
Yeah, right. You're not out as a kid growing up. You'd go out to the woods and do this kind of stuff because you didn't have anything else to do, right? Kids today, they don't even know what the woods are. Mac, do you know what the woods are?
Okay.
There's a great Lord Huron song called "Meet Me in the Woods Tonight."
Did you ever play in the woods as a kid?
All I did was play outside, Bob.
Yeah, that's all I did.
Right.
We had.
But he comes up in the generation where everybody's wearing a headset, talking to somebody in France playing a video game.
That's probably 5 or 10 years old, younger than
you. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably more like
just missed it. But you're right; it's right on the line.
It is.
I would say that's probably more like your kids' this generation.
Well, my kids aren't. They're girls. They're not video gamers, but they're also not playing in the woods and running around and creeks and creating whatever out
grabbed
there.
A stick and made a game and absolutely.
What we would do is so obviously I grew up in the age of video games, right? I'm not gonna lie to you.
We had the original Nintendo, but we only played on bad days, like if it was raining outside,
right?
And
I think that we would, because there was a wooded area where I grew up in Blue Springs, but also if you walked far enough, it walked you right into McDonald's on Woods Chapel. So that gives people that live in Blue Springs where I lived, like we lived in a neighborhood, we go in this wooded area, we hang around, we found this old abandoned car, we found this like abandoned like whatever, like little shed, and like that's what we did. But I mean, again, like that's the Goonies. They went on adventures. Goonies never die. Shout out to the text line that said that. And like that's a movie that I just don't think that you can reinvent. Like that's a movie where like it's always going to be Chunk to me. It's always going to be Sloth. It's always going to be the bad guys. Like, that's who it is. And I was thinking, like, are there a couple movies that absolutely not, that you cannot remake?
Yeah, all of them. And the reason I say that is because Variety was complaining that nobody's going to the movies anymore. And nobody's going to the movies anymore because all we're doing is remaking old movies. Like, we need new original ideas. As a kid growing up, and maybe you guys can remember or not, I don't know, I don't remember any movie coming out that was a remake of something that was already there. Now, in the 80s, you're doing remakes of like movies in the 60s and the 50s and whatnot, so you can roll your eyes at that. But I think
if you get outside of like the big box office feature, though, like there's a lot of indie films that are great that are out for like 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, dude, did you see this? Like, have you ever seen the movie 500 Days of Summer? Fantastic film.
But why are they remaking all of these old movies right now? Because they're trying to grab on the nostalgia for people my age who have the disposable income now, allegedly, in their lives that can go watch this stuff, and nostalgia sells,
and
right?
I'm sure you remember this. When I was young, Mac, this was the big thing for me. Like, they did Star Wars. Like, they CGI'd it. They added things to it. They, like, brought it back into the theater, right? Like, that's what they did. They just fixed a little bit of stuff. We went and watched it.
Yeah, well, I went and watched it.
Right?
Yeah,
but I think that like the remakes are the ones that like I tend to like zag against. Like, to me, the untouchable movie, never remake It's a Wonderful Life. You just don't do it.
How could you, though?
They'll do it in color and do it with like that has Timothée Chalamet written all over it. He'll be George. He'll do all that.
No.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Just stay away from it.
I love, but I don't want that. No.
But you know what? Don't watch it then. Like you have that opportunity. Like Draft Day. We'll never watch it. We'll never see it. We'll never talk about it. Out.
I don't think you could ever remake The Sandlot, even though I think they did.
I thought they tried to.
Yeah. I think they did with like a female cast. Or at least that.
No, that was Ghostbusters.
No, they did that too. And then Shawshank.
Yeah, like, you can't remake that.
Because those movies, I think you could remake, but don't. Like, just don't touch it, right? Like, just leave it alone.
Some of them are just like Encino Man. You're not remaking Encino Man, right? Like, nobody's remaking that movie. Wasn't that good? Not worthy of a remake. But like for me, like Shawshank, I'm not redoing The Green Mile either.
Oh, yeah, you can't touch that.
I mean, that's an all-time classic.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there is one that, John Coffey, like, what a great character. That gentleman has passed away. How are you going to recreate that guy, right? You just can't do that kind of stuff. Somebody put down Major League as well. The first Major League is one of the all-time classics. Field of Dreams for me is another movie that I love. I also love A League of Their Own. Like, all of these movies were so good in their original state. Like, could you imagine if they re-released, like, if they did a new Wizard of Oz at this time, or a new...
Get ready for that.
You think that is? I'm sure it is with Wicked and all that. Yeah, that is. You're probably right. A new Wizard of Oz is probably going to come out, or like what if they remake the Titanic or something like that? Like, because we're about 25 years since that movie came out, so it's probably time for a remake. But I think that's part of the reason why people aren't going to the theaters as much anymore. Why aren't people going? We've seen all these movies already.
I think there's two parts to that. I think there's Netflix, there's HBO Max, there's Peacock.
There's all that.
Amazon Prime, and there's a lot of movies that are just like Netflix films now. So it's like, not only that, dude, I don't know the last time you've been to the movies. It's expensive as F, dude. Like, you get a bag of popcorn and a drink, you're dropping $25.
Yeah,
legitimately.
Yep.
Like, that's why I love going to whatever the theater is in Lee Summit, like the East Glen, whatever it's called. You can get a 32-ounce tank, $7. Worth it.
Well, see, that's the difference, though, between, like, if you're complaining about concession stand prices, which we are, at least at the Royals game, you can bring your own food in, right?
That's
Movie
so
theater,
true.
you can't do that. At least the Royal, hey, you want to bring in a footlong from Subway, go for it.
And somebody says, hot take, the new Top Gun was better, a little bit better than the first one.
I don't know that it was better, but it was pretty good.
But see, that's not technically a remake.
No, it's not.
That's just like the follow-up that happened 30 years later.
Right.
Like,
right.
And Tom Cruise is still here, and he's great.
Yeah.
And
like,
looks the same.
Right. I don't know, man. It's just...
No, I think you're right. The Top Gun, that's a good pull on the text line, but you're right. It wasn't a remake. It was a sequel, if you will, a follow-up.
It's the one where they do it too long. Like, it's like... Could you imagine they try to, like, redo, like, Goodfellas or Casino?
Oh, no, you can't redo those.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
or The Irishman.
I mean, you could remake that. It'd probably be much better.
Maybe better. That is
Actually,
true.
you don't even need to remake that. Just edit it down to 2.5 hours.
Is there a movie that was so bad you're like, yeah, redo this one to make it better?
Oh, when they did Avatar: The Last Airbender, it was really bad, and I would love them to try that again. But I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
What was that Disney movie, Fantasia? Didn't they redo that at one point?
Yeah, they tried that.
Yeah. Gone with the Wind. Let's not remake that.
do
Because
that.
I don't give a damn if they remake that movie.
Somebody said I rented Gladiator 2 on Amazon for $20, which is a third of the price that it would have cost me and my girlfriend to go to the movies. I think that's the problem when nobody goes
Say
to
that
movies.
again?
They said they rented Gladiator 2 on Amazon for $20, which was a third of the price for them and his girlfriend and him to go to the movie to watch it. So for $20, they watched the movie where it would have been.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I'm in on that.
I just think the cost plus like COVID, I think killed it too because dude, they just released the movies to like HBO Max and I was loving it.
And the other thing is too is that like you mentioned Wicked, that just feels like it came out in the theaters yesterday. It's already available on Amazon.
So why go? Why just stay home?
Right.
All right, we got through the first hour. Now it's Chiefs talk from here on out. Hope you're ready. We do have a game in 2 days. We're trying to pace ourselves.
We got to pace ourselves,
Stay
man.
focused.
Got an offensive line update of who's going to play left tackle for you coming up, too.
There you go. That's a tease on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, if you're headed out of town, you get making those plans for the big game, and you're flying, you got to park at Park and Go because they have an unbelievable facility. Every spot at Park and Go is covered. So you know when you're out of town at this time of year, the last thing you want to do is have to come back from your trip and clean that snow and sleet and off your car. You don't have to do that at Park and Go, because every spot is covered. And my friend Emily wanted to make sure that everybody knows about their app and how awesome it is and how easy it is to use. That's how I book my parking when I go to Park and Go. I use their app, or you can go to bookparkandgo.com. Either way you do it, make sure you prepay, because that's when you're going to save the money. Then on the day of your flight, you show up, you give them your reservation number, and it's right to the terminal you go, because that van meets you as soon as you pull into that parking spot. And when you get back after that long trip, don't worry about waiting. Park and Go's there for you. Grab your bag, walk outside, and boom, the bus is there, you're on it, and you're right back to the trunk of your car. And then when you get there, you don't have to worry about the snow or the ice or any of that, because your car has been covered the entire time. So make your reservation today at bookparkandgo.com or with their easy-to-use app, and join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve that spot today. Bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state, back and forth, dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then. 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies, and so much more while watching the big game. And now Daisy came out with a Daisy French Onion Dip, a Daisy Ranch Dip, and these are a game changer. They're as good as homemade dips because they have real herbs and spices in them. They're ingredients you'll find in your own kitchen. So you need to get out to the store now and give Daisy French Onion Dip a try. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip everywhere.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. My team knows injury law. We can help you understand all of your legal rights so that you don't get cheated.
DM Law knew what to do and got me $350,000.
Mike's got this.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for University Housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease.
Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Slowdowns heading into downtown this morning as you make your way 70 westbound. Hit delays around 23rd Street. It's very slow all the way over towards the Paseo with an accident blocking at least one lane of traffic. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You can listen to the play-by-play of the Chiefs and Texans divisional round playoff game with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
There's another big game this week, Baltimore-Buffalo. We'll dive into that a little bit tomorrow. We do a thing called the Cover 2. Stay tuned for that because that'll be definitely brought up. Definitely.
I'm excited for that game. Let's rephrase this. If things don't go right on Saturday, ain't watching on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the feeling for everybody in town, right? Like if something should go wrong on Saturday, nobody's paying attention the rest of the way, right?
Talking Royals on Monday.
I told you guys the other day, I said, first topic on Monday, if this thing goes south, pitchers and catchers. And I'm good with that. Because Dusty and I were talking yesterday, like, I'd love to be talking some baseball, but that'll wait. We got a month, before pitchers and catchers report. But, man, baseball going to be fun this year.
That's right. It's fun every year, man. You just got to make it fun for the listener.
Yeah, losing 106, I don't know how much fun that is.
Do you see what Jim Harbaugh's offseason going to look like?
Oh, my God.
Brutal.
I mean,
I don't wish that on my
surgery and hip replacement surgery.
And cut.
And music ends. Did we not pay the bill? Did we only get 30 seconds of that?
That's all you got. Sorry. Yeah, it's brutal. I remember, I think one of my friends had hip replacement surgery because they had like an accident. But man, like that heart that's like got an an irregular beat?
Well, yeah, that's scary.
That's scary.
Anything with the heart. Like when my daughter was born, she had a hole in her heart, right? And they said, well, it was like the size of a dime, like not big at all, but you go to Children's Mercy and they do wonderful things there. And it ended up closing on its own. It wasn't a big deal, but there was talk of if it doesn't, we may have to have surgery to close that. My grandmother had open heart surgery, like when open heart surgery was just starting to happen. She had like a valve replacement in the 80s, and I remember her going in for that, and this heart stuff is very, very scary. As a football coach, I got to think like your heart is probably taxed more than anything with the ups and downs of the game, but also the stress.
I look at it like his personality. Like he's always like, hitting Herbert's chest pads or shoulder pads and hitting him in the helmet. And he's talking about remembering birth and all that sort of stuff. Like it's just, that's tough. But Chiefs, right? Big game Saturday. We'll have Ben Maller here in about 20 minutes or about 10 minutes here on the show. He'll join us. He's doing fine in LA, by the way. I can tell you that from firsthand perspective. Doing well. But look, this game, I think, in the grand scheme of things, we did it 2 days ago. We talked about Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, divisional round records, all that sort of stuff. Travis Kelce was yesterday. There are unsung heroes on this team that I think when the game happens, then they start to get their names brought up. And to me, we talked about the Texans' defensive line, how good it is with those great players they have in their secondary. They've got some players as well. Their offensive line is in for a day because I think where you have the Mahomes-Kelce connection, on the defensive side, you have the Chris Jones-Trent McDuffie connection.
Well, you have a healthy Chris Jones now,
Correct.
too, and I think that makes all the difference in the world. And that calf injury, again, not to compare myself to Chris Jones, but a week ago I hurt my calf, and boy, I mean, I can't run at a slow pace. I can't imagine trying to play in an NFL game with a sore calf. Put yourself in like that stance, that 3-point stance, and try to use your legs to power off. If your calf doesn't work, you're not doing anything like that. And I've rested about a week now. I feel good, right? I'm not ready to go test it yet. But Chris Jones said, he goes, I've had 3 weeks now where I've rested this calf, and it feels great. And to hear Chris Jones say that at this point of the season and use the word great on how he's feeling, that should be scary for Houston, because having a fresh, healthy, rested Chris Jones in the postseason, I think he's going to shine, guys.
Goosebumps.
I do, man.
Yeah.
He's going to shine.
Well, and he's part of that original, circle of trust. He wants a three-peat just as bad as Mahomes and Kelsey and those guys do. But
Well, you're doing it for Reed, you're doing it for Mahomes, you're doing it for Kelsey, and you're doing it for Chris Jones. Those are your 4 main core guys that you want to get this three-peat done for.
And you look at, Chris Jones is like the definition of you don't need sacks to describe your, presence or your definitive position in football. He had a half sack last year, 2 sacks before that, never had a sack before that in the playoffs.
Right. And that was a big talking point for a while. Chris Jones, no sacks in the playoffs.
No doubt. And, where he sticks out is passes deflected. He has 11 pass deflections in the playoffs.
It's huge. Wow. It's huge. No, I mean, think about all the games that he's affected.
11. He won the Super Bowl last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like not just last year, the first Super Bowl, too.
Yeah, he literally deflected the pass that Purdy threw out to the flat. And if Purdy gets that pass completed, they kneel it, they kick it. Mahomes never gets the ball again. Chris Jones is an unsung hero, and I get it. He's a main roster or main guy in this roster. Everybody knows who he is. But when we get into the playoffs and you see all these people that tweet and they're like, "Oh, Mahomes is divisional record, and Travis Kelce's a stud, and Xavier Worthy, the rookie that can make a big presence in this game." It's like you look at Chris Jones and you're like, this guy can wreck the day for C.J. Stroud. And we had Briscoe on Monday, and I was like, I think the biggest key of this game is getting Omenihu, Karlaftis, and Jones to get C.J. Stroud to roll out to his non-dominant side, and that's where the mistakes will happen. Hell, even if he rolls out to the right and he's got his dominant arm going that way, I still think this team getting him out of that, because I think C.J. Stroud's just a drop-back passer. He's not really great on the run. That's not his strong suit. He's, of course, I don't want to say the name Mahomes, but even guys like Rodgers, Mahomes, those guys, Brady was a drop-back passer. What was Brady's biggest thing? Get him off his platform and make him be creative, and then you will have a chance to beat him. Chris Jones, Omenihu, and Karlaftis can all cause a scene. Plus, you throw Leo Chenal out there and his crazy ass make things kind of weird. That makes McDuffie better. That makes that combination between Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie a little bit more fearsome. Plus, Chris Jones may not get a sack, but he's going to put that big paw up there, and you got to throw over that thing because he's got, again, 11 pass deflections in 8 years in the playoffs. He had 2 last year, and he had a forced fumble as well.
He's been an impact in just about every playoff and Super Bowl win that the Chiefs have had. He's done something that impacts the game.
He's a force. That's what he is.
He's going to be a force. And I'll take your Chris Jones and I'll raise you a Turk Wharton and a Mike Dana. I think those 2 guys are going to be the ones that benefit the most, because everybody knows Jones, everybody knows Karlaftis, everybody knows Charles Omenihu. I think there's going to be a lot of quote-unquote keying on those guys, right? Mm-hmm. And that frees up a guy like Turk Wharton, who had a hell of a season, by the way. I mean, let's not forget, Turk Wharton was arguably your best defensive lineman for the entire season. I mean, led defensive lineman in sacks, had tackle. Turk Wharton had a really nice year. Mike Dana had 5 sacks this year. I love Mike Dana. I think he's one of the best players on this team that gets no credit. So I think we're going to see big games from Turk Wharton and Mike Dana, because everybody else is going to be focused on that fearsome threesome that you mentioned there that are like, oh my God, those are real names. I mean, think about it. Did you not get goosebumps when your defensive line is Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, and Charles Omenihu? That's a who's who of defensive linemen. So you're going to get those guys kind of, matched up. And then here comes Turk Wharton, because he's going to be one-on-one, and he's going to beat that. And you're going to have Mike Dana. He's going to be one-on-one. He's going to beat that. So I think what we're going to see, Turk Wharton and Mike Dana have big games in the stat category this weekend.
I also think that when you look at the coming back of Watson, I thought that was interesting that
Watson, yes!
And I think it was Briscoe as well that said this on our show Monday, that now with him being back, certain plays you can draw up the McDuffie blitz. And McDuffie's another one of those guys. You remember last year in the playoffs, Tyreek Hill couldn't do anything. And McDuffie just stuck him on one play where they threw it quickly out to Tyreek Hill, where if he makes one guy miss, he's gone. And McDuffie just nailed him right at the line of scrimmage. Obviously, they had L'Jarius Sneed.
Sneed, the throat punch on Tyreek Hill, may be my favorite NFL play of all time.
Yeah, can't get past it.
So badass.
But, like, that's the thing about this. I think that when we look at this game and we for obvious reasons, we love the fact that Patrick Mahomes is deadly in the divisional round. Travis Kelce's got history that he's chasing as well, Mahomes as well. This defensive front and that secondary will be the reason why they're in the big city in New Orleans at the end of the year or at the end of the season, because of what this defense can do. Every layer is an addition to themselves. Like Chris Jones helps the linebackers help the safeties, and the safeties help the corners, and the corners help the line, everything like that. So I think Chris Jones, look for him to have a huge game on Saturday because their offensive line ain't great, and Chris Jones is.
Yeah, Chris Jones is going to have himself a day. Speaking of offensive line, who's going to play left tackle is the question the day, the week, I think, right now. I can tell you this, they're comfortable with either one that they decide to play at that tackle position right now. And
cool, so we're still in the same spot that we were yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean, they're rotating both guys. They're seeing what both guys can do, but I will just say, whatever route they decide to go, please don't make it a factor in this game.
Okay.
Please don't make it a factor in this game, because I really don't want to be here on Monday morning talking about the left tackle. I really don't. Like, it's just such a stupid conversation to have, because it seems like you got something that's working right now, and there's a good opportunity that it may be something different on Saturday afternoon than what we've seen. And again, you got to give the benefit of the doubt to Andy Reid and the coaching staff and, everything that they've done over there, because they've earned the benefit of the doubt. But if it goes south, man, it's going to be a long afternoon for Patrick Mahomes. I just don't want that.
I'm going to give you a stat on the other side that you're going to love. But also, coming up on the other side, Ben Maurer. He'll join us. Don't forget, Divisional Round coverage is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Ben Maurer joins us on the other side here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home, Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, you probably got some aches and pains, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, this is just my new normal for the rest of my life. Well, it doesn't have to be the new normal. That pain caused from chronic joint pain day after day, it is not the new normal. Get moving again in 2025 with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. We're talking about joint preservation. You can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. It's the future of medicine using natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. Tens of thousands of people with pain have discovered these cellular treatments, and they're living life again without that constant pain in their joints. If you want to learn more about how you can refresh your joints and get lasting relief with these amazing treatments, call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Deal with the joint pain now so you can make the most of the new year. Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. It's QC Kinetics.
Hey guys, good morning. Mac Morey here. That Super Bowl, it's right around the corner. So what's your plan? You going to do the same thing you do every year? You ready to step it up and try something even better this year? Well, we got a Super Bowl experience like no other at the Verizon Super Bowl Fan Fest. It's coming to Kansas City live in the Power and Light District on February 9th. You'll get exclusive access to the stadium where your favorite players make history. You'll even get to meet the game's most legendary players, all while enjoying live music and crushing some game day bites. The Super Bowl, it only comes around once a year, so who's ready to celebrate bigger and better than ever before? Tickets are going fast. You don't want to miss out. Visit your local Verizon store and find out about free tickets today. Must be 18 years or older to attend. Additional terms and conditions apply. See VerizonFanFest.com for details.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Now, Taxes is having a TurboTax expert do your taxes and get you every dollar you deserve. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes, and our collegiate e-bikes just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 70 westbound, moves a little better heading towards downtown. It's still sluggish from 27th Street, basically all the way into the downtown loop, but the earlier problem at the Paseo has been pushed off out of the way, and things have lightened up. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
It is time to talk to our guy, Ben Maller, Fox Sports Radio. Of course, you can catch him overnights right here on 96.5 The Fan, and it's all brought to you by the great folks over at The Landing in Liberty. And, Ben, we're here, divisional round weekend. We obviously are focused on the first game of the divisional round, the Chiefs and the Texans. How do you feel about this one going in for the Chiefs? Is it a big win, or is this going to be one of those nail-biters?
Yeah, so it's good to be on with you guys again, and I do not expect this to be a blowout. Now, I did pick the Chargers last week against the Texans, and the Chargers could have played much better in the first half of that game, the first quarter, and the game would have been much different. They were dominating the Texans early in that game. But the Houston defense, it impressed me. They're not the most talented team on offense. They're obviously missing Tank Dell and some other guys that are out with injury, but I don't think the Chiefs are going to have a cakewalk here. They haven't played football in a long time. I think the first half, there'll be some rust involved in that, even though they're the more rested team. And I just think this will be a fourth quarter game, and Patrick Mahomes will pull out his magic wand and a little hocus pocus, and the Chiefs will win and advance to the AFC Championship game. But I would be surprised if it's a blowout, because I think there'll be some mistakes on both sides that'll keep the game close. And I know you're going, Bob, right? You're going to be out there freezing your tuchus off watching the game, and so I'm looking forward to watching it too. It is amazing, though, how unpopular the Texans are, that every weekend they play the first game in the playoffs, which is the worst window. You want to be in like the primetime window, but that's how unpopular the Texans are.
Well, how unpopular they are, and even the popularity of the Chiefs can't carry them to a better time slot, right?
I know. The magic, you got the magic of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and all that, and the Texans are like this anchor, even bringing them down in terms of television popularity and all that. But it's good, right? Because the weather's not great, so at least it'll be somewhat better than playing at night, completely at night. So you'll have that going for you.
Two things. One, thank you for introducing me to the word tuchus. I never knew what that word was. And then two, I think this game is going to be interesting. And maybe you can kind of come to my side of this, Ben, because I think their defensive line is not decent. I think it's a great defensive line that they have in Houston. But I also think that the way the Kansas City Chiefs know how to react to everybody else's system, I think you'll see Mahomes kind of do different things. Obviously, the last time he played Houston, he had an ankle injury, and somebody tried to say they were going to make a promise or a threat, whatever it was, and it didn't work out. But I do find this interesting. C.J. Stroud, Arrowhead, playoffs, cold weather. If he goes in there and plays decent, I don't think they win, but plays decent, like you said, it's not a blowout. Is he a top 6 quarterback in the NFL?
I don't have him as a top 6 quarterback. I mean, listen, you can change as we know, you can change everything about your story in the playoffs, right? You play well, that's what we remember. And if you play bad like Justin Herbert, we remember that last week for the Chargers. So, yeah, if he goes in and he did play at Ohio State, which I think they get kind of cold games there at Ohio State late in the year. So he's played in cold weather before. I don't know how well he's played in that cold weather, but if he holds his own against the Chiefs defense, it will certainly add to his legacy. But this year he was not very good for much of the season in Houston, and he was the offseason MVP. I was on with you guys, every week I come on, and I was kidding around. I think I was texting Bob about how C.J. Stroud won the MVP award in the offseason. Then he actually had to play the games, and he was like a middle of the pack quarterback to the back of the NFL rankings. I wouldn't put him at number 6, but he would definitely move up. And you know how the overreaction machine is. You play well against the Chiefs at Arrowhead, and it'll be like the Texans are set up for next year. Even if they lose the game, which I think they will lose, I think it'll be closer than the point spread. But the hype will start again for C.J. Stroud turning the corner and all that mumbo jumbo. But I agree with your analysis as far as the defense is concerned. This should be a low-scoring defensive game. Cold weather, it's got all the ingredients that normally present a low-scoring type of game.
Talking with Ben Maller here on 96.5 The Fan. You can catch him overnights on Fox Sports Radio. And the other AFC game, like the NFC is kind of the redheaded stepchild, so to speak, of this weekend's games, because you got the Chiefs, obviously, that everybody wants to watch. And then you've got this Buffalo-Baltimore game that's going to be in snow and cold weather, featuring allegedly the 2 MVP candidates for at quarterback for these two games. What do you see this one looking like?
Yeah, so first of all, this is you talk about legacy for Josh Allen. If they screw this up, you've got perfect Chamber of Commerce Buffalo weather, 9 degrees and snow at kickoff of this game on Sunday night between the Ravens and the Bills. But if the Bills don't win this game, that will mean that Josh Allen has lost at home in the playoffs to Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, the 3 guys that are all part of this class of quarterbacks, this generation of quarterbacks. So that's a tough mountain to climb back from, to climb over if you're Josh Allen. And then you have the other factor that you've got Lamar Jackson, cold weather. He hasn't played well in the playoffs. He played okay last week, but that seemed like it was more of a Steeler issue. They were not there. Like they were no-showing. They went AWOL Pittsburgh against Baltimore. So we'll see what he does. They're not that good on defense, but they're at home. They've got the weather. I think the Buffalo Bills are actually gonna win this game. I think Buffalo will be in the AFC Championship game, and it'll be back at Arrowhead, and we've seen that before, and I think we're going to see it again next weekend.
Let's move over to your guys, Ben, in LA. I'm super almost believing 100% that somehow the Rams are going to make the NFC Championship game. I just think that it's crazy that nobody gives. I don't know where we lose this, because we did it with Brady and Belichick all the time. Who's the coach? Who's the quarterback? Okay, that's all I need. Those guys, that's the team. McVay and Stafford 5-1 in the playoffs. Their only loss, I believe, was last year to Detroit, where they lost by 2 in the fourth quarter, and it was a close game. I think LA is the team that you don't want to play. I'm not worried about Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts doesn't scare me. Sirianni doesn't scare me. Detroit, Campbell's somehow going to gamble too much or do something, whereas McVay and Stafford just cool, calm, collected. I know. They played Sam Darnold, and he showed up as a pumpkin, and that whole thing's over, and $80 million down the drain. But tell me I'm wrong or crazy about Stafford and McVay.
So this game, Dusty, I like the Rams. You guys know that, but I've gone back and forth on this game because it's going to be cold. Not as cold as it's going to be in Kansas City, but it's going to be, I think, in the 30s. I think originally there was going to be snow. Now they said there's going to be rain in the game in Philadelphia. And the Rams, West Coast team going to cold weather, that usually is not a good formula for success. But the Rams just seem a little different. They were a soft team over a couple years after the Super Bowl. They were a soft team. Even when they won the Super Bowl, they were a soft team. And so they've tried to toughen it up. And the defense has been outstanding. Although they played Philadelphia during the regular season, and Saquon Barkley had 255 yards rushing in that game. So, I mean, he absolutely killed them. And they're better now than they were then. Obviously, they've been playing very well here to close the year. I did take the Rams. I think this will be a fourth quarter game, and I agree with your analysis, Dusty. As long as the Rams can somewhat contain, they're not going to stop Saquon Barkley, but as long as they can contain him and force Jalen Hurts to make plays, I think the Rams are in really good shape here. And the Eagles have suffered some injuries on defense, so they're not as good as they were when they played the Rams. And they're really playing with house money because the Eagles this is Nick Sirianni. They're supposed to win. They had the great regular season. They're at home. We know how the Neanderthals in Philadelphia react if the team's not playing well. So, there's a lot to like about the Rams. I am taking the Rams on the TV show plus the points. Although Matthew Stafford, I don't love Matthew Stafford in cold weather, but I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be, just like most of these playoff games will be close. It'll be a fourth quarter game, and it's a toss up at that at that point. The Rams can run the ball, unlike some Ram teams in recent years. So they have a running game with Kyron Williams, and obviously they have Puka Nacua, who's one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL. So they've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I think it'll be enough to make that a very exciting game in Philadelphia.
The games are going on, but the real story is Dallas, obviously. Jerry Jones can't get into the playoffs, so he asserts himself into the playoffs and becomes the number one story, of the week. And that's obviously the job opening there, the connection with Deion Sanders. Does Deion take this job? Because to me, that has to be the answer for Dallas, at least for our purposes.
Well, from a sports radio perspective, clearly. I mean, we need this. I need this in my blood. I need Deion Sanders and Jerry Jones sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya and with cameras rolling because it's a reality TV show. You imagine what these conversations must be like between Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders. They know everyone's talking about him. They love it. This is what they live for, the attention, right? All that stuff. Everyone's yapping about this. But the way I look at it, Jerry Jones has pretty much boxed himself into a corner. If you don't hire Deion Sanders, who is your fallback option? Robert Saleh? You can't sell that. You're the Dallas Cowboys. You have to hire Deion. And Deion, even though he's not from Dallas, he's lived there for many, many years. He raised his family. His kids were raised in the Dallas area. So it's just a natural. And if you're Deion Sanders, you're all about marketing and branding. If Jerry Jones is going to hire you, how do you turn down that job to stay at Colorado when your kids are leaving Colorado? And there's no reason. As long as this is all legit, you got to take the job. If you're Deion Sanders, you got to go for it.
Is there a good job open right now? Because I don't think there are. I don't think there's many appealing jobs out there. In fact, I think Dallas is the least appealing of all the jobs out there with the fact that you have to deal with Jerry. Are there any jobs that are open right now where you're like, gosh, that's a good one?
Well, I'm going to press back on that. I think all of the jobs are good, Bob. They pay a lot of money to coach football. So there is not a bad job in the NFL. And I would argue, based on the ego, and you know a bunch of these guys as well as I do, a lot of these people that work in the NFL, to get to that level, you got to have a giant ego, and there's no bigger stage than coaching the Dallas Cowboys. So that's got to be the top job. If you imagine if you go to Dallas and actually make the Cowboys relevant and win and get to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, if you're the coach of the Cowboys, you talk about being a made man. Oh, my goodness. You overcome the curse of Jerry Jones and you win in Jerry's world. Oh, my God. So all these guys, Deion Sanders is thinking about that. Although he didn't even win in Colorado, so who knows?
Who knows? Ben, we appreciate the time as always. Enjoy the games this weekend, the national championship game on Monday, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Stay warm, Bob.
There it is. Ben Maller brought to you by the Landing in Liberty. And he mentioned Deion to Dallas, right? And I think you and I are kind of on board with that. That would be the greatest thing we could possibly see, right? Deion going to Dallas would be a fantastic hire. I think that happens. I do. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say Deion does get the Dallas job. I think Mike McCarthy gets the job in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aaron Glenn does get the Jets job, because he actually wants the job. I think, I don't know who's going to get the Saints job, and I think Pete Carroll gets the Raiders job. From what I understand, I don't think people believe that Ben Johnson is going to get a head coaching job. And if you're the Las Vegas Raiders at this point in time where you are in your franchise and where you are divisionally, I think you got to hire Pete Carroll out there. He's a proven winner. He's a proven name, and he is somebody that I believe could give you the best chance of going toe-to-toe with everybody else in the division that are playoff teams right now. You need a real head coach in Oakland, and I don't believe that Ben Johnson is that right. I don't think Ben Johnson gets a job this hiring cycle.
Oh, I disagree.
Okay.
I think he'll get a job. I think it's now or never. Like, he can't, I think the Bears should call him. I think he should go to Chicago because he's got the opportunity. He's not going to go to New Orleans. He could go to Jacksonville, maybe. Jets, no. Chicago, probably. Obviously, New England's taking care of Vegas. I don't think he's going to Vegas. If they have the number 1 overall pick, I think he might go to Vegas, but he's not going to go. Because he has Brock Bowers, he has Max Crosby.
You don't have a quarterback.
Exactly, and you're not picking, they're picking like 5th?
Yeah,
or something like that.
But who's even out there as a quarterback? That's the other thing. Like, this is a bad year to need a quarterback in the NFL. And I think, as Binkley has said, next year is going to be a bad year to need a quarterback in the NFL
Arch
as
Manning
well.
will spearhead that with Carson Beck. Those are two guys that.
But also, too, now you've got Quinn Ewers going to the NFL. And I believe that he didn't get a good enough offer to stay in college, so he's going pro. Like, that's his fallback option right now because he didn't get the $6 million we thought from Ohio State.
I thought he was for sure going to go to Ohio
someplace
State.
like that. It sure seems like he didn't have any collegiate. Imagine that now. The entering the draft is your fallback option.
How much of that semifinal game gave everybody in college football the idea to be like, maybe not.
Maybe not what?
Taking
maybe not on Quinn.
Oh, on Quinn. Yeah.
His pocket presence was worse than
who lost more money, Sam Darnold or Quinn Ewers?
Darnold
for sure.
Yeah, probably. So
NFL
NFL money versus college money.
Darnold probably lost $80 million. He's going to get paid less than Baker got paid.
Darnold's going to end up signing a 1-year, $5 to $10 million contract to be a backup quarterback. I guarantee you Sam Darnold probably lost well over $100 million, maybe even close to $200 million based on the way that he played. Because if he played great against the Lions and he played great against the Rams, people would be salivating to pay that guy 5 years, $220 million.
Even just in one of those games, he showed up.
Just one of those games showed up. But he went 8 quarters and was a ghost.
It's terrible.
Well, and if he'd have won the game against Detroit, he wouldn't have played that game.
That's exactly right.
So then he's just like, the unknown is always paid more than the known.
No doubt about it, yeah. So I think Quinn Ewers ultimately is entering the draft. A, there's not a lot of great quarterbacks in the draft, but B, I think that's his fallback option. I don't think he got the offers he really wanted from college. And if Ohio State, let's say, just for example, says, we'll give you $2 million to come here, is that really worth it to stay one more year in college for $2 million? Or do you try to make that jump to the NFL? And if you're a first-round pick or a high second-round pick, which quarterbacks seemingly are, you're going to probably take in more money in the NFL. So I think he did his due diligence with college, and colleges are like, we're not that interested anymore.
Yeah. I just could have sworn he was going to go to Ohio State.
Me too.
Yeah, it just screamed that. Here's some audio from the New Heights podcast. Their guest this week was LeBron James.
Have you seen this tweet from 2015? LeBron is 30. This won't go on for much longer. Thank God.
Yes, I saw that tweet throughout all of my 30s.
That's too funny.
And I laughed at it so hard every single time.
Put it up in the locker. You just put it right there. Like, yeah.
Want to know what's funny? When I turned 40, the same guy said LeBron turned 40. This won't go on much longer.
That's fucking gold, man.
So good. So good. Look at that. That's so good.
Oh, my goodness. He's going to be real upset when I turn 50.
No doubt.
So LeBron be playing at 50 and still kicking everybody's ass, right?
Yes.
So awesome, man.
This is a topic that we were thinking about the other day because you, out of nowhere, were watching the Lakers game and you said, did you guys just see LeBron James's left-handed dunk?
That was like a week ago now, just to be fair, right? But sometimes things come up late. I'm just giving everybody
and then all of a sudden it's an evergreen topic that we're getting ready to get into, so that's why we bring that up. And then all of a sudden, he's the guest on New Heights who just got the $100 million deal from the Amazon podcasting system, which is bravo to them.
Yeah, congratulations.
If you didn't think he was going to retire if they win, I'll say it again. They got $100 million from Amazon to do their podcast.
Yeah, but by the time Uncle Sam and Jason gets his, it's not a lot.
Okay, I was just waiting for the smile. Because you remind me of the lady in the line at the gas station one time when I was like, man, the jackpot's $295 million. She goes, yeah, by the time you win, you get only $150. I said,
oh, that's it?
I said, oh, how much money do you
But she was being serious.
Dead serious. And I was like,
I'm joking.
I was like, I just looked at her and I literally went, And she turned around and goes, what? I said, I just didn't know that you made $150 million every year. She goes, well, I don't. But look at all that money you've lost. I go,
I was at the Hy-Vee gas station yesterday, cashing in my points, had 81 cents off a gallon, got gas for under $2 yesterday.
Wow.
Brioche,
Nice.
baby. And I will be going to Hy-Vee today for the tailgate stuff that we need in the liquor department that they have over here at 75th and State Line. Let's go. And so I'm the only one there, right, at the gas station yesterday. And what did they have, about 12 pumps?
I don't know.
Right, roughly, 1, 2, 3, 4, good amount, right? It's a big area. There's not only 2 gas pumps.
Sure.
I'm the only one there. Woman pulls in right behind me. All these empty pumps. And then, I was filling up in the shade, so I walked out to where the sun was because, it was a lot warmer. And then she's, standing there in the car looking at me, waiting for me to move when there are pumps as far as the eye can see.
People are weird.
Wow.
But no, that audio, LeBron James, the guy's 30's going to be rough. I look at LeBron James, I look at Tom Brady, because those are the 2 athletes in my lifetime that have been very successful once the 4-0 hits.
Who else has played this long?
I mean, was Breeze 40?
Yeah, I think he was.
Was Manning 40?
I don't think so.
But Manning fell apart.
His
shoulder
head fell off, yeah.
Well, his shoulder, literally
they had to
fell
solder
apart.
his neck back on.
Who was better at 40, Brady or LeBron? Because I think, and I'm gonna defend my case that it's LeBron.
I'm gonna go with you on that because I think it's harder to play at this level in the NBA than it is at play quarterback in the NFL.
LeBron practices every day.
Yeah.
LeBron plays on hardwood.
LeBron
Up and
has
down,
to
run
defense,
constantly.
offense. Yeah.
And I know the NFL has psychos in it, but it's not like Tom Brady was practicing every day, every week. He was practicing Fridays. That was it. By the time he was 40, they're like, Tom, just play Friday. We'll give you the game plan Thursday. You just walk through it. I know that because they would say that it was in his contract in Tampa.
And
He
that's
didn't have to
fine.
practice it.
And I have
it's
no
totally
problem
fine.
with that.
Now, again, he won a Super Bowl at 40. LeBron has not won a championship at
Right.
40. LeBron, athletically, to me, at the age of 40, is something that I didn't think we'd ever see. Go look at his numbers. He's averaging 26.
Yeah, but he doesn't even look like he's 40, he
Freak.
he looks like he's looked since he got into the league. Now, obviously, his hairline is receding and he's older, obviously.
Well, so is mine.
Yeah, exactly. But from a playing standpoint, LeBron hasn't aged. From a playing standpoint, LeBron has not aged at all. And that's impressive in the NBA because you're up and down, back and forth, playing offense, playing defense, guarding some of the best players out there. And as you mentioned, the hardwood does take a toll, man.
By the way, I do. Do you think it's LeBron?
I think LeBron's the best athlete of all time.
Yeah, what Brady did was impressive. But LeBron looks like he could go for another 5 to 6 years.
He's a
and
top
just play
15
point
player.
guard. Yeah.
That's unreal.
So
I know he was joking, but you don't think he plays till he's 50.
Yeah, but LeBron doesn't get sacked. Yeah, well, neither did Brady.
Neither did Brady.
Brady had
Brady didn't
rules
get
against
hits.
him.
And if Brady got sacked, it was twice a game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'll look it up how many times he got sacked in his final 2 years of the league.
And that's not to take anything away from
No,
Tom.
No. I think Tom's great.
Yeah.
But
Amazing.
what LeBron's doing in that sport, which is more physically enduring than football,
Right.
as a quarter. Now, if Brady was 40 and he was a slot receiver, we'd have a different discussion.
Or a left tackle, but he wouldn't be playing those positions at that age. The ability to not get hit has prolonged the shelf life for quarterbacks, and that's great because we want Patrick Mahomes to stay around as long as he possibly can. But, after covering the NBA for 2 years, I have a greater appreciation for how these guys work, and it is work out there. And for all the folks who say they don't play defense or all this stuff, basketball is not my sport, but I appreciate how good they are. I believe NBA players are the best athletes on the planet when it comes to the 4 majors. And watching those guys defend, watching them go up and down the court, watching them just work sets on offense, it is nonstop grind out there on the floor. I mean, it is a freaking workout session every single minute they're on the floor.
You ready for this, Mac?
Yeah.
From the 816. Stop it now. LOL. A non-contact sport versus a violent sport. Not to mention Tom changed his entire throwing motion to not show age in his arm. You guys sound like Skip Bayless.
Changed his
Good.
throwing
That's a
motion.
compliment. Skip Bayless is one of the most successful, highest paid individuals who have ever done this. So when you use that term, Skip Bayless, I said it for years. People call you're like Skip Bayless. Thank you. That's a great compliment. I wish I could make $5 million a year.
Yeah, just, from the 785, another fake story from Dusty, LOL. Not fake. And if you want to know where that lottery ticket story was, Greenwood Casey's.
Oh, Greenwood.
If you know where that's at, you go straight to the light. There's a Greenwood, there's a Casey's on the right side. I walked in. There were 3 people in front of me. The old lady was one of them. She literally complained about the lottery ticket being you lose half your money. Uncle Sam, I just don't know why I would make stuff like that.
Why would I make things around and make stuff like that? If that's something that you've actually experienced.
Like, literally happened. Like, Casey's, Greenwood, there's a coffee shop just up the street. I don't know what to tell you. That's just, if you don't believe my life, you can come follow me around for like a week. You'll see it happen. I'm serious. Another fake story. Why would I make a fake story about a lottery ticket in Casey's?
What was your other fake story that you made?
I don't know. They got a huge hog. That'd be a fake story. Coming up on the other side, we'll get into Smash or Pass on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan.
Fescoe and Dusty.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, many people consider selling their homes independently to save on real estate commissions. And while that might seem appealing, especially in today's market, independent sellers often overlook the significant financial benefits of working with a professional. Collaborating with an expert like Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team can greatly enhance your profits and overall experience in the selling process. In the last 12 months, Dawn and her team have sold over 150 homes. So you know she's going to bring you the most buyers. That's why, on average, they sell a home every 72 hours. So you want to work with an agent that you can trust. The Sharp Homes team can also give you options. If you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold, that's perfect. Contact them to discuss their instant offer program. Contact the only agent I would trust. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team. If I needed to sell my home, Dawn's the only call I'm making. And with the Sharp Homes team brokered by Epic Realty, you know you're going to hire the best agent in the area. Google Sharp Homes team, or you can check them out at homesforsaleinkc.com. That's homesforsaleinkc.com, and start packing.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Hey, Missouri sports fans, I've got great news for you. Underdog is available to play in your state. Underdog is the best place to cash in on all of your takes during the playoffs. Which players are going to go off and which ones are going to stay ice cold. And with over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all of your favorite athlete performances. Underdog is the only champs platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. And every dog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo code if an early injury causes your entry to lose. Underdog is the best place to play champs. Download the app, sign up with promo code BOB, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Everyone deserves to elevate their beef. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal they'll never forget or impress your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, their Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week, or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Divisional round coverage of the Chiefs and Texans on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In Lee Summit, US 50 westbound, slow rolling from 291 south. Heavier portions off again, on again, up to 470 with an accident blocking the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
It is a Thursday, so it's Smash or Pass Day.
Yes, it is.
Smash.
Let me ask you guys this one. I talked to Dusty about this one in the break. Mac, I haven't talked to you about this one for Smash or Pass.
Say something.
Dusty's smashing this one.
All right.
Texas Rangers have announced their TV deal. They're not going on television this year. Straight to streaming.
Oh.
$100 for the year. Smashing or passing?
Smash.
Dusty?
Absolutely smash.
Yeah.
It's like, sign me up.
Yeah, that's butter.
$1.62 a game.
Yeah, we did
Exactly.
the math. $1.62 a
We
game.
really dove into it.
Yeah, and I'm sure people are thinking, I'm not paying that money. But you know what? If it's on regular TV, you are paying that money because you've got to upgrade your cable for like $10 a month times 12 months is $120. So it's actually cheaper.
Wow.
If you buy the games on streaming than if you upgrade your cable package to the sports pack. That gives you the opportunity to watch these games for an additional $10 per month. Yes, I know you can cancel after the season, but why go through all that? You got to deal with a call center.
No, that's easy. I like that.
I love it.
I'm in on that.
I love it. And that's where the Royals should operate right now.
Yes.
That's where they should go, you know what? Stop dealing with all this nonsense, especially coming off a season where you went to the playoffs. You're going to have high interest. This is the year to smash your own streaming service and do it that way because people will sign up this year.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Teams got the opportunity to win. And I was talking to somebody who works in baseball yesterday and kind of talking about the team and the way it's assembled. And I said, what do you think about, Vinny Pasquantino or whatever? And we were kind of talking about Vinny a little bit. And the conversation was, as long as Bobby wants him, Bobby gets him because they're going to do whatever Bobby wants now going forward.
Yeah.
Why are you smirking at me like that?
Because you're going to hate me in about 5 minutes.
All right. Why?
Because we had a surprise today for Smash or Pass.
Yeah.
You know our buddy Aussie, Mr.
Yeah.
Robert, Vegemite sandwich.
Oh, I know. He texted me that he was in the parking lot, and we were in the middle of Ben Mallard.
You ever had a Vegemite?
I'm not going to ever have a Vegemite.
You're going to have to.
I'm not.
It's part of the segment, Bob.
I don't care. I don't eat on the air, so
You
I'm
had
not
an
going to do it.
Uncrustable on the air.
I took one bite, and I'm not
You
going
only
to
have
do
to
it.
eat one bite.
Nah, I'm out.
Did you grab one, Mac?
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
You're not, though.
No, I am.
No, you're not, or you do it. This is a team sport.
Nah, I'm out. Not doing it.
Wow. Wow.
He's a solo sport guy.
Yeah, not going to do that one.
Wow.
Not even going to give us a try? Okay.
Smells like a peanut butter sandwich, bud.
It actually does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you're participating. Do you have your camera on? Because this is tough.
I can't even see Mac right now.
Yeah, the sun is rough. Okay, my camera is on.
So there it is. Check out that beautiful cross section. Thanks to our Australian friend.
Oh, God.
What's wrong? It looks like a cinnamon roll.
Looked like somebody vomited.
I don't know what vomit you look at. But yeah, we're gonna do this. Mac, you ready? You got your camera on?
The camera's only working for you, so I've got it on you. Got it on you, Dustman.
Yeah, really, that reaction makes me want to.
A lot of butter happening.
Yeah. It's really not terrible.
I feel like he laid light on the Vegemite for us.
Not bad. It's like creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That's not bad at all.
The creamy sandwich.
I can see how toasted. This toasted would be good.
He said to toast it.
Yeah. We don't have a toaster, Aussie.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I think we do, don't we, in the
we
break
do?
room?
Oh.
Well, at least the oven. Turn the oven on. Stick it in there.
Yeah.
Not liking it as much now. It's fading.
It's got a weird like ending.
I don't like the way it's ending.
It's not a happy ending.
It's not happy?
No.
What
It's
is
not
it?
like you're not gonna like gag, but it's just like
oh my God, what the hell is this? Mac
just
is
don't-
like slamming anything he can find. Are you drinking Windex?
We got a Powerade in here.
yeah, it's,
Luckily, it got a little rough at the end there. Not gonna lie.
Man.
Not gonna lie. I was like, oh yeah, this is good. Oh wait, this isn't good.
Yeah.
Both of you guys are like, oh my God.
At least we did it.
Fine, I don't care.
Oh my God.
It won't go away.
Yeah, the taste is gonna stick.
It's like sticking in my like it's on the roof of my mouth.
Oh no.
Woo!
There we go.
Aussie, trust me, man, I love you to death. I appreciate the gesture.
I do. I really do.
Oh man, it's not my cup of tea again.
Not my
I tried the
thing.
last one, didn't care for it. This one, can't do it. I don't know what they do in Australia, but not eating the good sandwiches. All right. Our other smasher passer, sandwiches from the 1950s.
Yeah, we got some good ones, right, Mac? What do we got?
Oh, my thing's loading, Bob. I don't know. My computer back. Okay, here we go. No shortage. All right, here we go. The frosted sandwich loaf. You'll find a frosted sandwich loaf at most parties in the 50s, also known as a party loaf. It's a concoction that looks like a rectangular cake, but actually consists of bread layered with savory fillings and coated in cream cheese.
Didn't you guys just eat that?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's about right.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm out.
Out on that.
I'm out
one.
on that.
Yeah, I'm good. No need.
The Welsh Rarebit open face sandwich. It's got. I'm trying to see. I mean, looks like it's got eggs on it. I don't really know what this is.
Basically a grilled cheese sandwich without the top
There you
layer
go.
of bread.
Sure.
Yeah,
Smash.
Yeah.
very smash.
Open face grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm.
There's not an open face sandwich I wouldn't eat.
What about a Vegemite? See, now you got the hiccups. Like, that's why I can't eat on the air. You get that. Like,
I don't have the hiccups. I just had had a little soft burp.
Yeah, that's what it does to me. Like, and that's why I can't do it. So,
Monte Cristo. I didn't know this was a 1950s sandwich. I love Monte Cristo.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they're great.
So good.
it's like French toast stuff with ham and cheese,
Yes,
right?
a little jelly action.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not opposed.
It's fine.
What is going on with our music today? Like, did we not pay the bill?
No, we just have we have a computer that's here before Bill Gates even decided to start Microsoft.
Do you know how long we've been complaining about these computers?
Yeah, well, keep
So
going.
bad.
They'll still be there tomorrow. We have a TV in their studio that still doesn't work. But yet you have ass clowns up here. They're like, can we get better carpet?
It's actually chomping.
Yeah, champing.
Oh, champing.
Yeah, we have one TV. Bob can't even see it, and then we have another one that then we have another one that doesn't even work. And then the only upgrade we got was a 22-inch like Vizio in Mac's office.
Like, seriously, like,
Yeah.
it's been 15 years that computer has not worked. I don't know if it predates that. It may predate that.
They predate me. Yeah.
Like literally predate your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
This computer's been here before Mac was born.
Australia has fairy bread, which is incredible. I don't know what that is, but I'd try it.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll try almost anything once.
Yes.
I pretty much have tried everything once, and I know if I like it or not. My parents used to give me all that sort of crap back in the day. Like, you don't even know what it tastes like. How do you know you hate it? I'm
What
like,
was
well,
it?
You know, like one time it was a beet. I ate a beet. I was like always like, ugh, it looks like it's bleeding in your bowl. And they're like, well, you don't even know what it tastes like. I tried it. It was disgusting.
You're like, I'm out.
See,
Radish.
I could sit down with a can of beets and eat them just fine.
I think I like beets. It's been a minute,
They're
but I
just
think I
very
like
earthy.
them.
Yeah, that's the term. It tastes like you're eating dirt, which I
Yeah.
don't mind.
Like
you know?
my family, like we're all cottage cheese lords. And they would put their beets over cottage cheese. So
I don't like that.
I just love.
You're big on the cottage cheese.
Oh God, I could eat it all. I could eat it every day. I mean,
do you eat it every day? Because it's a good source of protein. It's healthy for you.
I use it as the binder in my lasagna if I make it.
Yep.
I can take a bag of Frito Scoops, or hell, any chips. Well, I mean, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to have Doritos, but like I'll take a bag of like Frito Scoops and cottage cheese, small curd, large curd, and just.
There's a difference.
Oh yeah.
Oh
you
really?
Get the larger curd or the small curd.
Really? Which do you prefer?
Either. Doesn't matter.
Does it taste differently? Or?
Now, if I'm doing like cottage cheese and tomatoes, small curd. And then I put like, it looks like somebody ashed an entire cigar of pepper on my tomatoes because I'm just, nonstop, like pouring it on.
There's nothing better than a fresh tomato with salt and pepper.
Oh, so I can eat it like an apple.
Yep.
See, like onions, I tried those. Not a huge fan. I like a red onion on a burger. I don't like white onion. But like you chop it up, sear it, do all that stuff. Like obviously,
so you
I'm
like
very-
grilled onions?
Yeah, I mean for
but
sure.
Raw onion, you're out on.
Just like if you got a quarter pounder from McDonald's,
right?
And they put those gigantic chunked white onions, no
onion on
not
that.
a chance.
Okay.
But like the little small diced ones on like the double cheese, totally
my
fine
friend
with it.
PR used to eat onions like they were apples back in the day, and then he used to eat onion and butter sandwiches. Now we didn't have a whole lot of money growing up, so
Right.
people were fighting for everything.
Why do you think I like cottage cheese?
I mean, onion and butter sandwiches.
Yeah,
onion and butter, that's tough.
I'll take
I would
Vegemite
just
over
take-
that.
Yeah, I just take the onion off and eat the
Eat
butter.
the butter sandwiches. Yeah, we had butter sandwiches. Leave your teeth marks in the butter. They put so much on it.
Texan agrees. Doritos and cottage cheese is top tier. Large curd. Cool Ranch Doritos dipped in cottage cheese, or like crunchy Cheetos and cottage cheese.
Okay.
Damn,
okay, I
dude.
could try that.
Come out there looking like I got bit by like Chester Cheeto. Got like an orange circle around my mouth and like foaming cottage cheese. Nate Taylor in 25 minutes, but coming up on the other side, we're going to nip it in the bud with the left tackle situation here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home. Kansas City Sports. Sure you don't want one of these?
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty
What the hell's wrong with your station?
on Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, if you're looking for something awesome to do, and who isn't, right? Foaling is the answer to your question of what are we going to do tonight? What should we do with the kids? What should we do with the in-laws? What should we do for a date? What should we do for a company party? What should we do for a birthday party? What should we do for anything? And the answer is Foaling, because Foaling can help you celebrate everything you want to celebrate like we did last Friday night. We went and foaled around and had ourselves the best time. And what's cool about Foaling is you can cater your own event, right? You're going to have a party at Foaling, bring your own sandwiches, bring your own pizza. Foaling is football plus bowling plus bar, and that's Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. They're starting year 2 at 435 in State Line, and if you haven't foaled around yet, you need to get in there. It's bowling with a football, and the competitive juices are going to take over. I promise you. You set up the pins like you're going to bowl, you throw the football at them, knock them all down, you re-rack it, and you do it again, and you're going to play and play and play and have so much fun. Like I said, it's perfect for kids, it's perfect for adults, it's perfect for a date night, it's perfect for anything. So check them out at 435 in State Line and reserve your lane at foalingkc.com. That's foalingkc.com, and get your foal on.
It's just not normal. The pain calls from chronic joint pain day after day. But some of you have dealt with that pain for so long, it's become your new normal. Short-term fixes are not working. Make the decision now to say no, not going to live with it. Get moving again in 2025 with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, joint preservation. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. Tens of thousands of people with pain have discovered these cellular treatments and they're living life again without that constant pain in their joints. Want to learn more about how you can refresh your joints, get lasting relief with these amazing treatments? Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299.
This weekly football preview is brought to you by MD Anderson Cancer Center.
Playoff action continues this weekend with the remaining 8 teams set to face off for the divisional round as they continue their road to the championship. Saturday, Kansas City will take on Houston at home, followed by a Detroit home game against Washington, and the action continues on Sunday with games set in Philadelphia and Buffalo.
At MD Anderson Cancer Center, we're doing whatever it takes to end lung cancer. Visit MDAndersonLungCancer.com to learn more.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News and World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In downtown, 35 southbound heavy from I-70 down towards 670. Also 70 inbound is very slow from Truman over towards Prospect. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
What's up, KC? It's Trent McDuffie. Catch the play-by-play all season long with Mitch, Danon, and Clean right here on your home of the Chiefs. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
I will say Vegemite is not the flavor of the week. But I do appreciate the gesture for Smasher Pass.
Did you guys go and brush your teeth?
I don't have a toothbrush.
We had a guy that used to work here that carried that toothbrush around.
You kind of have to. This job will give you hot breath.
It really does.
I mean, just there's nothing you can do about it. You talk for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You talk after the show. And then you go like somewhere and you see somebody's reaction, like, oh, I got to carry mints in my car.
Yeah, I always have to have something in there now. And like me, I drink coffee in the morning, so that adds
Double
to
take.
it. You know.
This is from the 816. My dad grew up really poor in the backwoods of Missouri, and his family's idea of a milkshake was milk and some saltine crackers mixed together. Okay.
Oh man.
Somebody says mix paste chunky salsa with cottage cheese. Fire. From that text. Lay's potato chips dipped in pork and beans. I will say this.
Oh, that does sound good, though.
that I can get down with.
Yeah, I can get down with
that's
that.
good.
Yeah.
I will say this. When I was a kid, one of my favorite snacks was Lay's potato chips and the Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs. I would just like pour those
spaghetti
in.
and meatballs, man. Oh, the Chef Boyardee stuff is just not for me. I
I
can smell it
like
right
it.
now, and I want to throw up.
I loved the raviolis.
No. One time, my mother tried to punish me. You're eating this cold can of SpaghettiOs, and the smell
That's
on that.
punishment.
is
I'd have got in
just-
trouble every day.
Look at Mac's face. It's worse than mine.
not
right
like
now.
it.
I did
like
not
the
either.
consistency, the smell, I'm smelling it.
Yeah, you're smelling it right now,
Yes, I
right?
don't like
Yeah.
Because I used to love you took the plastic lid off, then you ripped the metal lid off, put the plastic lid back on because it had little holes on top. And you
Oh, see, that must be a new one because for us, you had a can opener and you opened it, poured it in a bowl, and ate it. Oh. And those meatballs. What were those meatballs made out of?
You know what?
Sawdust?
You don't ask.
The sound of it pouring out of the can.
No.
I don't think that's what it sounds like. But
It's like when you open the cranberry jelly, it goes.
yeah, that one's fine. What you just did is like,
No, but that's the way it was with that spaghetti. Oh, God.
I liked it.
Oof. I mean, it smells like vomit. It really does. Like
Yes.
it's just, and it looks like it, and it tastes like it.
Definitely looks like it.
Pork and beans and cottage cheese. Bussin'. Maybe.
What's happening?
I don't know. What's happening at left tackle? Who's going to be that person?
Yeah, both of them right now is the answer to that question. You know, just trying to find out some information. You know, recently to bring it to the airwaves, as they like to say, they're rotating. You know, both guys right now, and they feel comfortable either way. Okay, great. I give the benefit of the doubt to Andy Reid. I give the benefit of the doubt to Andy Heck, the offensive line coach. What they want to do, I'm all for today. But just so you know, if DJ Humphries ends up being that guy and it becomes a problem, then you open yourself up to criticism for this. Because, again, as we've talked about, as this week has gone on, I didn't wake up Monday morning thinking this would be a conversation piece the entire week. And here we sit, and, I don't know that they know at this point in time who's going to start at that left tackle position, but I'm also a believer of I don't fix what's not broken, and it's been working the last couple of weeks. But, again, Andy Reid has got the hardware, the championships, and he knows a hell of a lot more about football and his players than I do. So I give the benefit of the doubt to Andy Reid. Whatever he decides to do, I'll be behind it. But it can't go south, and you can't have your quarterback frustrated in this game on Saturday afternoon.
I mean, I think he would go one drive before he would be like, all right, switch it.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too, Dusty. Like, I don't even know that it would go one drive. Like, I mean, first play of the game, all of a sudden here comes, Will Anderson off the left tackle side, the right side of the defense, and he's right in Mahomes' face, and it's DJ Humphries out there. How quickly do you wait?
No, I mean, it's
because there's no tomorrow.
Which, to me, and this is where we can end this conversation, because we say we'd nip it in the bud, but, this is the thing where it's like, why even worry about that? Like,
I know, right?
Like,
there's
why
other
even put
things.
yourself through that process where it's like, all right, we're going to see what the guy can do at left tackle, see if he can hold it straight. And look, maybe on Monday we look like a bunch of clowns, and that guy goes out there, allows 0 pressures, no sacks, and Humphries is like, all of a sudden rebranded or reborn at left tackle. And it's like, all right, now we got our left guard, we got our left tackle, we have our center, we got our right guard, and right tackle is Jawan Taylor. That's our weakest spot on the line, and we're set to go. But the other thing that could happen is, you're having the conversation, why does it need to be an experiment when it comes to divisional round playoff?
Right.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. If you want it there because you want the run game, we know the Chiefs don't run the ball. If that's the case, if you get up, big enough, and in the second half, then put him out there and move Tooney back inside, and then start running the ball. We know they won't run the ball. They were up by 21 to nothing or 21-7 against Cleveland, and they threw it 8 consecutive times. So until you can prove to me that they will run the ball and that the reason they're doing this is because they want to be efficient running it, I got to see it to believe it, and I've never seen it with Kansas City.
Right.
Underneath this regime, underneath Andy Reid, they do not run the ball with Patrick Mahomes. They won't. Andy Reid, I won't say that. I would say that Patrick Mahomes might have more rushing yards than one of the running backs this week.
Nah.
It won't happen because one of them will have 55 and the other one will have 40.
Right.
Which, shoot.
But if Mahomes gets a big run,
Obviously.
I mean, what did we say yesterday? The higher lower was on underdog 22.5 yards rushing for Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
What'd you say you were going to go with, Mac?
Over.
I'll take the under. I kid. But that's kind of where the number is, right? Like 22.5 yards rushing for Patrick Mahomes in this game. So, do what you want, obviously, in that type of situation. But again, it's not broken, man. To me, I would have focused on something else. But that's just me. That's why I'm not Andy Reid, and that's why, I'm not the head coach right now in the NFL.
So every year, every week, every month, every other day, there's some sort of thing on X where it says, the all-time greatest Lions, the all-time greatest Vikings. We came up with ours, and it is your all-time favorite Chiefs lineup. You get a quarterback, a running back, and 3 pass catchers.
Right.
So again, I'll slow it down. All-time Chiefs lineup, you get 1 quarterback, 1 running back, and 3 pass catchers.
Right. And, Mac, I don't know why you have Tyler Palko as your quarterback. Please explain that.
Right. I think Mac's list would be the unanimous one.
Yeah, I think
probably for most people.
It's pretty similar to mine.
So, you guys go ahead, and then I'll try to do something different that makes sense.
I like the fact that you went different. I went different in the running back era as well. For me, Mac, you go first since your name's in bold and it's first.
Yeah, bold.
And mine's written down on a notepad.
I got Patrick Mahomes. I think that's probably going to be a wash there. I've got Jamal Charles, and then I went with just pass catchers. So
Yeah,
we're not
just
doing
pass catchers.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so
because somebody was talking about the 3 greatest wide receivers. I'm like, let's do pass catchers because the game has evolved.
That opens it up exactly. So I'm going to go Travis Kelce and Tony Gonzalez. And then I'll also do Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is on my list as well. He's the best wide receiver in the organization's history. Now we may see Rashee Rice, we may see Xavier Worthy pass him at some point in time, but he's the greatest as we sit here right now, right? And you guys can weigh in on the Jay Southland Tow Service text line as well at 913-586-7965. I got Mahomes as well at quarterback. Upset alert there. Kelce, Tony Gonzalez, Tyreek Hill is your pass catchers. And then for my running back, I go with Marcus Allen. And the reason I go with Marcus Allen is because there wasn't a better running back, in my opinion, in the red zone than Marcus Allen. The Chiefs can't get anything done in the red zone. Marcus Allen knew how to cross the goal line, so give me Marcus Allen.
Love it.
kind of took the same route. Obviously, Mahomes is the quarterback. I went with Priest Holmes.
It's a good one.
You talk about red zone and being efficient. I would say he was almost better than Marcus Allen because he could do the leap, he could do the tuck underneath, he could get outside and stretch it. Priest Holmes was, just a childhood hero for me. Just knew how to just all the time. Just had that offensive line, could do the leap.
And that factors in too, being that childhood hero, right?
Yeah,
you never give up on those
the
guys.
leap was basically the tush push. It was unstoppable. Like hardly ever did Priest get stopped because he was so big and could get outside too. He was quick enough to do that to where when he hit the springs, you didn't know it was coming, and he scored every single time. It was awesome. My pass catchers, Travis Kelce.
Nice.
Dwayne Bowe.
Let's go.
Most catching, almost, I think, tied or maybe has the most touchdown catches in Chiefs, single season. I think one year he had 13 or 14 touchdown grabs.
No,
in one
I think it was either 10 or 15. It was that first year of Matt Castle.
It was his
great.
contract year. Yeah, he was unstoppable.
Him and Castle were dynamic.
Remember that
year.
catch he had against the Colts in the playoffs where he was going out of bounds and tiptoed and caught it one-handed and then went out of bounds?
Yep.
Nasty. Guy was good. Guy was real good.
Yeah, 15 tuds.
Yeah, 15 touchdowns in one season.
I think Castle had 25 that year. 15 of them. 15 of them.
Damn. Imagine
in all honesty.
Yeah.
There's not a more prolific receiver, quarterback, touchdown combination in KC history than Matt Castle and Dwayne Bowe.
15 tugs in 1 year and 25 years, almost
Think about that, though. 15 touchdowns he had receiving from Matt Castle. I don't know that anybody has had more.
That's insane.
I think Kelce had
27 that year,
year.
so only 12 to the rest of the team, 15 to Dwayne Bowe. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, when you have Donnie Avery.
Yeah.
And then
it was a connection. It was fun to watch those two.
And then, and then Otis is the last receiver.
That's a good one, yeah.
He's a solid guy.
Legend, Hall of Famer, yeah.
So I tried to get a mix of every sort of I know Mahomes and Kelce are in the same, and Priest and Bowe are kind of not really the same era, but a little bit of touching there. And then you got Big Otis out there who's just a beast back in his prime. So
is Christian Okoye a possible argument for running back?
You can put Christian in there.
Yeah.
I love Christian.
Somebody says on the text line they'd like to see Christian Okoye with smaller pads in this era of the NFL.
Oh, okay.
Who would you rather tackle, Derrick Henry or Christian Okoye?
Christian Okoye.
I think Okoye.
I'd like to know how much of that was pads. Derrick Henry, it's almost hardly any pads, and it's all muscle and just. And
Have you not seen Christian in person?
No, I know he's a big guy.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about Derrick Henry when you saw him shirtless? Thank you. I'll rest my case. Okay.
He's also a lot younger than Christian. No offense, Christian.
No doubt, but
either one would be a nightmare. No pun intended.
Booger McFarland has some advice for you. We need your advice in the text line because it's going to be cold on Saturday. Plus Nate Taylor at 8:25. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty and Mac on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Good morning, everyone. What's going on? Mac Morey here. That Super Bowl, it's coming up. It's actually right around the corner. So what's your plan? You going to do the same thing you do every year? Or are you ready to step it up and try something even better this year? Got a Super Bowl experience like no other. It's at the Verizon Super Bowl Fan Fest coming to Kansas City live in the Power and Light District on February 9th. You'll get exclusive access to the stadium where your favorite players make history, and you'll meet the game's most legendary players, all while enjoying live music, crushing some game day foods, maybe even some game day drinks. Super Bowl, it only comes around once a year, so who's ready to celebrate bigger and better than ever before? Tickets are going fast, so you don't want to miss out. Visit your local Verizon store and find out about free tickets today. Must be 18 years or older to attend. Additional terms and conditions apply. See VerizonFanFest.com for details.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. Truehold.com.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
It's Brian Baldinger with the Journey to the Big Game presented by Hyundai. After a wild weekend, Detroit and Philadelphia look to continue their hot streaks while Kansas City gets their first shot at a three-peat. However, one game stands above the rest as the MVP favorites in Baltimore and Buffalo go head-to-head in an epic playoff battle. Journey to the Big Game is presented by Hyundai. Now you can buy a new Hyundai at Amazon. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for more details.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
It's playoffs time, KC. Rally House has the Chiefs gear you're looking for, including Chiefs official postseason gear and the latest styles fit for the kingdom.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Gear up in-store and online at rallyhouse.com.
It's the best time of the year. The chase for a Chiefs three-peat has begun, and Hy-Vee has everything we need to cheer on the Chiefs during the playoffs. They have a huge selection of official Chiefs apparel and party supplies, and Hy-Vee has endless tailgate and watch party food options with wings, ready-to-bake pizza, and freshly prepared dips, party trays, and so much more. Plus, the Hy-Vee Bakery has some fun Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. And don't forget the Hy-Vee Wine and Spirits Department. The chase for a three-peat begins only at Hy-Vee.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, K10 eastbound, a little sluggish approaching Woodland, and then again it gets heavy around Renner and stays very slow making your way onto 435 eastbound, stays sluggish past I-35. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
From the 785, they said go explosive with your all-time Chiefs team. Go Jamal Charles with Mahomes, Kelsey, Dante Hall, and Tyreek Hill. That'd make Mike McDaniels just absolutely lose his mind. Like, see, if I had that, I'd be the best coach ever.
Yeah, so would I.
I got Waddle, Hill.
Boy, if I had Patrick Mahomes, I'd be really good at this coaching thing. Oh, okay.
What are you trying to say about Andy Reid?
No, I'm not talking about Andy Reid.
Yeah.
He's one without Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think, is that like the biggest what if in the Chiefs like fandom? Is like what if Charles and Mahomes played together? Or is it what if Derek Thomas was on this defense?
I think everybody would lean towards DT being on this defense. Yeah, okay. I do.
I think a lot of people just love offense. I think, man, we had Jamal Charles. Plus, I think they used the Jamal Charles like era of the way the team was, like how bad they were. Like, man, if you put him on this team, man, 3-time Super Bowl winner, like Hall of Famer. Not going to be a Hall of Famer now, even though he leads the NFL in yards per rush in the history of the game as running back.
I don't understand why he doesn't. I mean, has he been out long enough to be considered for the Hall of Fame yet? I don't know that he
I bet he's been out since 2020.
Oh, yeah, he has now. Yeah.
Because I don't think he was playing during COVID.
Got 2015 is when we played the Broncos and finally beat them. And then, like, in 2016 or 17, he go to Denver. No, he's been out. Yeah, he's had to have been out for.
He had that weird stop in Jacksonville in 2018.
He
for
did?
2 games.
I didn't know that.
I don't remember that at all.
Doesn't seem like he 6 carries for 7 yards.
Okay.
In what year?
2018.
2018.
Man, he should never have done those 6 carries. It kills his average.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So 23, he was eligible for the first time for the Hall of
He's
Fame.
never getting in.
Nah, he's not.
No. So obviously we've lived in Kansas City long enough. I've lived here my whole life. I know that it gets cold in January and Chiefs games get cold. This was Booger McFarland's advice.
What's the worst feeling in the cold?
Pre-game warm-up is kind of the worst because you got to get your body loose and warm. And once you get loose and warm, and no lie, small shot of whiskey. I mean, we don't need anything hard like vodka. I mean, we don't need anything. Just like a small shot of, a little Tennessee something light, just to kind of get the throat nice and warm. Put the Tiger Balm on, get ready to go, get lubed up a little bit. Oh. And here's the last thing. You got to put the full body onesie on, the ski suit, cut the toes out, all right? Make sure that the shoes are nice and dry. And once you get warm, the key is to stay warm. Like the worst thing you ever want to do is get warm and then cool off because then you freeze. All that perspiration freezes up and you'll be cold as hell.
So you got to get a little bit of, whiskey, basically Jack Daniels is what he's saying.
Not the hard stuff like vodka, just whiskey.
What do you say?
Yeah, what? I was like, wait, what?
Isn't whiskey harder than vodka?
I think so.
I mean, vodka tastes terrible, but yeah.
Well, it depends on what kind you get, though.
That's true.
You know?
Some whiskey can taste bad.
Whiskey,
Yeah,
like you can have there's, I don't know, Booker's. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's like 123% alcohol. It's brutal.
Woo.
Yeah, it's like 96 proof or whatever it is. It's tough. You got to put an ice cube on there to sweat it out.
You don't want the hard stuff like vodka.
But whiskey's fine. Like
but
Jack
whiskey's
Daniels.
good, yeah. I'm sure there were people taken aback, like, oh my God, they're drinking before the game?
You say lube up the throat?
Yeah.
Why? Why does the throat matter when it's cold like that?
Don't eat Vegemite before the game.
No, don't do
Dusty's
that.
still wanting to puke.
That'll wake you up, dude.
That's true.
The cold thing, though, for me, because I passed that
Layers.
around to my daughters for this week, and they're like, yeah, the gloves, like my hands get cold in the gloves. I'm like, yeah, mine do too. And then I heard Booker talk about it. I'm like, maybe because our fingers are sweating, and then we're putting them back in the gloves, and it's freezing or something like that. But I mean, what are your secrets to keeping warm, text line? Because we're all going to be blazing out there and dealing with the cold elements. I'm probably going to go
layers.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3 layers, 4 layers on my legs, right? I'll wear a pair of what do you call those? Tights.
johns?
Yeah, long john tight pants. Then I'll probably wear a pair of joggers. Then I'll put a pair of jeans on over that, and then I'll put snow pants on over the jeans. So I'll probably have about 4 layers of pants that I'll be wearing, and probably the same on top, 4 or 5 different layers on top, hat, gloves. And for me, and I know people kind of roll their eyes at this one, the key to staying warm, I do believe, is the scarf. The scarf around your neck. Make sure you roll it and tie it around your neck. That, to me, has been the difference maker in staying warm at these games versus freezing at these games.
I'm always keep my feet and hands warm, and I think that kind of keeps everything kind of there. So I go, I have these Bombas, these type of socks, they're like ankle socks. I'll put those on. Then I'll put my Nike socks on over that, and then wool socks.
Yeah, I'll wool sock.
Then my feet are good.
Then
Then
do you
I'll
use the heat packs in your feet? Yeah, I do too.
I'll put them on the side of each side of my boot.
Ooh, that's
I
a
wear,
good
I wear
idea.
boots, so I put one on each side.
Not on the bottom. though.
No, because then it's only gonna focus on the bottom of my foot. This keeps the whole foot warm.
Oh, I like that. I never thought
Yeah.
about that idea. That's a good one.
There you go.
All right.
And then I'll go, like you said, I'll go long johns. I'll go a pair of joggers and then jeans. I won't do the snow pants. One, I don't own any. Two, I think it's, for me, I don't need that much. And then tops the same way, like an Under Armour, long john, and then I'll do a t-shirt, sweatshirt over that, and then jersey over the hoodie, or the hoodie, not sweatshirt. And then I'll put the jacket, scarf, beanie.
Yeah.
And then gloves, and I'll put the heaters in
packs
the
and-
palm.
yeah.
And then I'll just kind of, pouch it.
Pouch it, yeah. No, I like the heat packs on the side of the boot. That's a pretty good move. I'm going to try that. I'm going to put it on the bottom and on the sides.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Weekend.
If you want to go all
and
the
then
way around.
throw them on top.
Yeah, both sides, ankles.
But I do believe the feet are the key to the whole thing,
your feet.
too. If your feet are freezing, the whole body's going to freeze. Mac will have his shirt off.
Oh, God. You think any players for Houston will be out there warming up without their shirts on?
Of course they will.
Bring that energy, baby. Nate Taylor, he brings that energy. It's that time for Nate Taylor.
He's the only man in history to win a race in a hot dog costume and break the news that Chris Jones is back with the Chiefs.
I'll get on that, Coach.
Yeah, all right.
Here's Nate Taylor from The Athletic.
Nate Taylor presented by Mark Ferguson. We all make mistakes. Let Mark and his legal team make the best of them. 816-221-1750. Nate, I know I'm crazy, but that press box even gets cold when it's cold out there, doesn't it?
Oh, especially if you're next to the glass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be like last year, which you guys are so right. As soon as your toes leave you, because one of the things that you forget, and I remember seeing some friends in the tailgate who, by the way, shout out to them, they still tailgated, and you be on that concrete in the parking lot, and then you go to the concrete in the stands, and you're just like, okay, what we're about to do is kind of insane. So I'll always remember that night, and that'll be a big difference. At least we'll see the sun when this game kicks off on Saturday. But yeah, keep your feet warm. I mean, again, to you guys' point, heaters, double, triple socks. Get those snow boots ready, even though, thankfully we won't see snow on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's more of a situation for us sitting out in the stands and tailgating than it is ultimately for the players. I mean, they got the benches on the sidelines. They have more opportunities to go back in, stay warm. I think the players are fine in this type of environment. I think it's for us. We're going to be the nuts out there freezing at 10:30 in the morning doing fireball shots. Well, maybe you're not, but I will.
Yeah, your torso and up, your torso up. You might be loose and feel great with a little alcohol in you. It is the waist down.
Yeah.
That is the issue. I do remember during the 2022 seasons, right? This was like either the day before or the day after Christmas. I can't remember, but they played the Seattle Seahawks, and I do remember
that was Christmas Eve. Yeah,
Christmas Eve. Yeah, so I remember Seattle. They get cold weather. It snows up there. All those guys, I would advise the Texans not to do this because all the guys for the Seahawks, all their skill position players, including DJ Metcalf, had their shirts off in the warm-up. Like, we're going to warm up. We're going to show, we're not affected. They did not play well.
No.
It's like you kind of maybe you used maybe you're more focused the pregame look and feel of this all versus just keep your body warm as much as possible. That way you can perform at your best. So I would advise the Texans not to do that. They're also from Houston. So this will be a little bit of a different environment than obviously playing indoors. But yeah, this is the beauty of the playoffs. Whatever it takes, I guess, to get you psyched up. How much of that energy is actually going towards your performance, towards your opponent versus the internal psychological stuff inside of you that can actually take away energy from the task at hand.
Nate, do you want the pressure and tell the entire listening audience who's going to be starting at left tackle on Saturday?
I love pressure. I live for it. I appreciate it. As Billie Jean King says, pressure is a privilege.
No doubt.
We're going to give the pressure to DJ Humphries, guys. I know that the majority of Chiefs fans understand, to your guys' point earlier today, if it ain't broke, why are you trying to fix it? But this is the plan. Most coaches are loyal. DJ Humphrey has more playoff experience than Mike Caliendo because he's included into this equation. And I know people have said this before. Yes, you can go back to, Joe Thuney and Caliendo if something goes wrong. The question is how quick is the hook?
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion. So if you had to ask me right now, my most educated guess would be they didn't sign this man to sit on the bench. They signed him to be a key piece in helping the team have a stabilized, offensive line, so that Mahomes and what we saw, especially on Christmas Day, what the skill position can do if you just give Patrick suitable, time. I think the fact that Patrick has had 3 weeks to also rest his ankle, that his mobility, that, this is as healthy as he has been really since October. The fact that he can escape the pocket a little bit easier, that he has his full range of mobility, I think that maybe leads to DJ Humphrey getting an opportunity. I know some people have also suggested, yes, maybe this helps in the run game because you're not having, a left guard, left tackle trying to push, so you can get to the perimeter maybe a little bit easier. But I just think Andy Reid's going to try to do right by DJ Humphrey, and in placing the faith in the veteran, you hope to be rewarded by not having things sort of be discombobulated, especially early on. I think that's what concerns me the most is if DJ Humphries does start, like I think at this point in time, how quickly can he get up to the speed, and will the speed sort of, because again, playoff football is different than regular season. Obviously, it's different than preseason. The intensity, the skill position players, the fact that there's all this game plan specific tactics, being thrown against you. If he can withstand that in the first quarter, then I think you feel comfortable. But if he's overwhelmed, or if he just can't match the game speed, the intensity, because he's only played in 2 games, I think that troubles me more than just about anything else.
You have an article this week on The Athletic about Patrick Mahomes and kind of, explaining his season, if you will, right?
Yes. So I just want to remind people, I'm just going to throw a couple statistics at you, ladies and gentlemen. This man is not going to win the MVP award, yet he is doing more in some ways than Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Obviously, we're going to watch them play against one another on Sunday. Gentlemen, do you realize that Patrick Mahomes has completed a pass to 18 different teammates? That is the most in his career for this particular season, and that's the most of any quarterback this season. I know that Lamar Jackson has Derrick Henry to take some of the burden off of his shoulders. Obviously, Josh Allen is multi-talented. And look, they traded for Amari Cooper, and it's done pretty well. Patrick Mahomes has generated 72.5% of the Chiefs' offensive yards this season. That is the most of any quarterback in the league. So he's doing the things while also having, 7 game-winning drives, while also playing through multiple injuries, the left ankle early, the right ankle late, trying to integrate, obviously, Hollywood Brown into the mix late, trying to develop alongside with Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, Xavier Worthy throughout the season, losing Rashee Rice because you injured him after a poor interception. He is still finding ways to evolve, to play at a higher level than we had seen in, honestly, last season. I know statistically it won't look the same, but I'm trying to explain to you guys, he's playing better football this season than he did last season when they won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So if he can continue to play at this level or even elevate it a little bit more, now having the rest, having the bye week, it just informs you that it's going to be really, really hard for someone to come into Arrowhead Stadium with this guy playing at this high of a level and trying to knock off the Chiefs. So I know Chiefs fans are worried. They have plenty of reasons to be worried, but I'm here to tell you guys, he's playing better football. We'll never see another 2022 season. Never. That was a magical year, but he is playing better this year than last year.
Well, and I don't disagree with that. I've been saying Patrick Mahomes is the true MVP of this league for quite some time now, and because of the things that he does. Because if you take away his offensive line, like we saw this year, you take away his number 1 wide receiver, his number 1 running back, I don't know that Lamar or Josh Allen is able to go out there and have that type of success like Patrick Mahomes has had. And you said 2022 is never going to be repeated. 2018 is never going to be repeated, and yet that's what seemingly everybody comes back to, Nate, when they talk about Mahomes is that first year of 50 and 5,000. That's so outdated right now.
Right, and it's not a requirement where you can make a legitimate argument, Bob, that like, hey man, that was kind of required. Orlando Scandrick was his number 2 cornerback.
Right, no, it was 100% required. He had to go out there and do that for the team to win.
Right.
Yeah,
right, yeah, and so it's a little bit different now. And one of the things that'll be in this article that'll come out tomorrow is he is yet reminding you again, I don't care about stats. I really don't. And the play reflects that. Like, I will just do whatever is necessary on that particular day to help my team win. And that's what matters. He's been frustrated plenty of times this season. He's still a human being, but he's not looking for what he did in 2018, what he did in 2019, obviously leading the Chiefs to their first Super Bowl victory in 50 years. But he's also not even trying to look at what he was trying to do in 2022. He continues to advance and not being afraid to say, like, I don't have to be that guy I was, X amount of years, whatever later. I'm going to get these guys right. I'm going to make sure that, like, when DeAndre Hopkins arrives, he understands that, like, I will morph my game towards his game more so than he even has to morph his game toward mine. And I just think that is something that we might appreciate more, when we look back at Patrick's career. But I'm just saying right now, it's hard to equate what other quarterback could do this year after year where you're still the same talent level. He's still the most talented quarterback in the league, but he's beating you and he's getting wins in I won't say unorthodox manner, but in a manner that, like, is not year over year. Like, he just continued to kind of, like, do the same things. No, he's doing things differently, and the results are actually getting better. That's what's terrifying. It's like, well, they won 15 games, and they can still play better if he gets the suitable, competent protection starting Saturday against the Houston Texans.
Nate, who do you want to see in the next round if it is happening, Buffalo or Baltimore?
I want Baltimore. I know we all remember, last year's game against the Bills, in Buffalo for the first time. That was the first, true road playoff game for the Chiefs under Mahomes. I know we all remember that magnificent game in 2021. I just think Baltimore has more options than, hey, can Josh Allen be Superman for 3 hours? Mm-hmm. And by the way, he probably going to have to be that on Sunday. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson just offer a different style than the Bills do. And I think styles that are contrasting obviously make for great theater. Mm-hmm. We have the history of, like, Baltimore really kind of going through the motions at times this year. But now that we know it's the playoffs, they'll be highly motivated to get some level of revenge against the Chiefs for what happened in the AFC Championship game last year. And as much as I appreciate Bills fans, the Ravens truly believe, like, we would have won on opening night if my boy's toe wasn't on the line.
Yeah, well, it wasn't.
So there's and by the way, everybody knows this. Like, I think people remember it, but, like, had that touchdown counted, John Harbaugh was going to keep Lamar in the offense on the field. They were going to go for 2 to win the game in regulation. So I just think Baltimore's probably the better team. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll win on Sunday against the Bills, but I do think getting the repeat matchup in the championship game is always great. Whether it was, like, when I grew up, whether it was the Packers versus the Cowboys, and then a few years later it's like Cowboys versus 49ers. Whenever you can get a rematch of 2 really good teams, obviously 2 MVP candidates, in the AFC title game year over year, and you change the venue, right? Like, one year it's like, hey, when is Peyton Manning going to stop playing the Patriots in Gillette Stadium? And it's like, finally, it was 2006. It wasn't it was a championship game, I remember, where the Patriots finally had to go to the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. When you flip the venues year over year, it's excellent. So for all those reasons, and because I think it'll be a great game of whose style can withstand and outlast the opponents, I would say Ravens versus Chiefs.
Is Jalen Watson playing?
Yep, he's playing, and he's going to start. they can't really hide it. They need him. And again, if you can have Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams on the perimeter, now it moves Trent McDuffie back to the slot, his most naturally gifted position, where he can blitz. He can obviously cover Nico Collins. If they want to move Nico Collins to the slot, which I think the Texans probably will do. And hey, if Jalen Watson can hold up in man coverage, I just think Steve Spagnuolo is going to try to put C.J. Stroud in hell with more blitzes, more pressures, more simulated looks. It's gonna be like, it's funny. Like, I think the more tactical part of the game for the Chiefs is actually on defense, because we are going to see Jalen Watson and we are going to see Charles Omenihu. Those two had not played together all season, and everybody on defense is healthy. So it's not like Spags doesn't have the players and the resources to try to do some funky things compared to the first matchup to try to get C.J. Stroud off his rhythm, get him uncomfortable, and try to hit him a couple times.
All right, my man. Well, hey, you stay warm, enjoy the game, have fun, and hopefully we're doing this again and talking about an AFC Championship game for, the 7th consecutive year for Patrick Mahomes. Just wild, dude. Just completely wild.
Right. I mean, regardless of what happens on Saturday, I have to include it in the story. The baseline, ladies and gentlemen, which again is crazy. The baseline for Patrick Mahomes is the AFC Championship game. Wild.
No doubt. Well, hey, man, we'll talk to you next week, and you take care and have a good Saturday. And, hey, enjoy the Sunday off for maybe the second straight week.
Yes, sir. It sounds great to me.
That's right. Nate Taylor, The Athletic, they're presented by Mark Ferguson. We all make mistakes. Let Mark and his legal team make the best of them. 816-221-1750. Jalen Watson, 100% playing.
Watson,
and he's gonna start. That's the best audio I heard in that entire interview. Glad to hear that, man. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there. Coming up on the other side.
Getting healthy at the right time.
Funny how that works, right? It's not who's the best team right now. It's who's the healthiest team. Speaking of healthy, this can't be a healthy mindset when you lose a bet. All I want is this guy to prove it. Coming up on the other side, 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
I don't.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and I want to talk to you about my new friends at GiveMeTheVin.com. They are a company that works best for you, and it's easy, no stress, no problem. Look, you've got that old car that you wanted to fix up, make a project, but then you've run out of time. You need to make some money for the holiday season. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com. They will literally buy your car. You can say goodbye to dealing with the dealerships and private sale tire kickers and get a true buy offer for your car. GiveMeTheVin.com puts your car right on the money, providing you with a hassle-free online option to sell your car for more. It's simple as going to GiveMeTheVin.com, entering your car's VIN number or license plate number. You'll get an offer on your car within minutes. That is always well above any dealer quote and is guaranteed to beat your written CarMax offer, or they'll send you a check for $100. It's literally so easy, you can do it in your underwear. Literally, it's that easy. You like being comfortable and making easy money? Then go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
I'll tell you what, we got big games coming up this weekend, and you want to get in on the action. And if you're in Missouri, I've got great news for you. Underdog is now available to play in your state. Underdog is the best place to cash in on all of your takes during the playoffs. Which players are going to go off and which ones are going to be ice cold. And with over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all of your favorite athletes' performances. We had some fun on the Underdog app this past weekend, won almost $100 on the Underdog app. And with their Champs game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats when it comes to yards, touchdowns, interceptions, or more. Patrick Mahomes, you going higher or lower than 1.5 touchdowns this weekend? That's available on the Underdog app. And Underdog is the only Champs platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button and cash out whenever you want. And with Underdog's double flex option, you can even take 2 L's and turn them into a W. So Underdog is the best place to play Champs. Download the app, sign up with promo code BOB, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. That's code 965 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort.
Hey, it's Gold once again for my friends at Max Motors. In all the winter weather we just had, you were digging yourself out of the snow, and maybe you were navigating the roads and realizing how nice it is to have that four-wheel drive vehicle. Maybe you were thinking, what would it be like to have a four-wheel drive vehicle? Well, at Max Motors, they have new 2024 Ram 2500s up to $16,000 off MSRP. Stock number C240005. See dealer for details. Max Motors has the best financing options available with the max trade-in values in the Midwest. Max Motors, the easiest place to buy a car, maxmotors.com.
Hey, it's Karen with Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Ready to replace that roof? We have flexible financing options, 12 months same as cash, and don't make a payment for 90 days. And that's just one of many options we offer. Get on the schedule now with our in-house Consumer Credit Center. One call does it all for flexible payment options, affordability, and peace of mind. Visit shamrockroofer.com. That's shamrockroofer.com or call 1-866-932-3545 today.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, it's Derek Johnson, and I know there's nothing better than being part of a team. A group of great people you can count on and learn from. The Sheet Metalworkers, local number 2, are growing their team and looking for quality men and women who want to build Kansas City's future. While you're making KC a better place, you'll also get great pay and benefits while gaining lifelong skills. Explore the possibilities at sheetmetal2.org. That's sheetmetal2.org. And take a step towards a fulfilling and rewarding way of life.
When Google Fiber first launched 1 gig internet right here in Kansas City, it cost $70. Cut to today. Over 10 years later, 1 gig internet still costs the same, $70. That's what you get with Google Fiber. Fast, reliable internet with simple, straightforward monthly billing. No data caps, no annual contracts, no hidden fees. Just a small local fee for the city on top of your flat, predictable price. Go beyond good enough. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at fiber.google.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a Pick 6, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game, and tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Divisional round coverage of the Chiefs and Texans on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In Olathe, 35 northbound at Old 56 Highway, accident takes away 2 left lanes, very heavy from 151st Street. K10 eastbound heavy from K7 towards Woodland with a wreck off to the left shoulder. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Hate it or love it, we got another hour and 10 minutes left. We'll be back into the Trent McDuffie, Chris Jones conversation we had earlier because I think it's kind of interesting. Speaking of interesting, Mac, do you believe this story or do you think he'll actually pull through with it? Or go away with it?
I think he's serious.
I mean, if he is serious about this person probably should just go and hide in Montana for the rest of their lives. This is stupid. This is one of the dumbest things ever.
Bozeman's great.
Yeah, I just say prove it. You ever see the movie Big Daddy? It's an Adam Sandler film. He goes, I'm once the guy that shaved his ass for a $100 bet. Prove it. Hello, fellow degenerates. As many of you are aware, 2 months ago I made a bet that I would chop off my humongous ding-dong if the Notre Dame Fighting Irish won the college football playoffs. I just wanted to make it very clear that if Notre Dame wins the national championship, I will firmly stick to my word.
No, you won't.
And receive a professional surgery that will safely remove my penis. The timeline for this, though, will have to be flexible as I do not consider my wife, I do have to consider my wife, who would like to have at least 2 children. In the event that I have to follow through with my bet, she has agreed to accelerate our family planning so I can get the surgery as soon as possible. I refuse to let my team be cursed, and if it means that I will lose my blank in the process, then so be it.
This person's an idiot.
You better hope Notre Dame loses.
What has your team ever done for you that you're willing to do that for them?
I mean, that's tough.
That ain't like making a bet and like our friend Jimmy Fassler having to walk into old Shawnee Day parade saying I suck at fantasy football. This is dumb. I mean, the doctor should not allow this to happen. Like when you go in and meet with the doctor and he says, what are you here for today? Well, I'm thinking about having my penis removed because Notre Dame lost or won the championship. That's where the doctor should get up and say, is this Borat? Like, what are we doing here? Am I being punked? Is this candid camera? Is this a radio station? Okay, you got me. Like what's going on here?
He's gonna have to go to like the sticks to get it cut off.
Oh, I'm sure there's some doctor in like Arkansas that's got like a scalpel ready to go.
First off, like, why is your wife like supporting this?
That's the other thing.
Rough,
who is she?
Yeah.
Like, you're married to this woman, and she wants to have a family, and she's willing to accelerate family planning so you can like. I got to be honest with you, as you guys know about Tuesdays for us, like it's more than just about family planning. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
I mean, like,
should be.
This sounds so stupid, and like Notre Dame needs to get involved and say this can't happen, and give the guy a jersey or something, or invite him to a game, put him in a suite, give him some cold nachos, or there's got it. Like send Marcus Freeman to his house to talk to him. Like give this guy something so he doesn't go through this. And then if you're the doctor and you allow this and you do this, you should lose your medical license. Because this is one of those things where you do need to intervene as the doctor and say, nah, we're not doing this. No, we're not doing this.
Well, didn't he say, too, he's like rooting against his team now?
Yeah.
That's the worst part. I'm like, okay, well, then this bet sucks all around. You're losing your penis and you're not rooting for your team. So you're 0 for 2 now.
Yeah.
And I hate to break it to him, like Notre Dame's not going to win.
I don't think so
right?
either.
Notre Dame's not going to win.
I'm the weird one that I didn't know you could actually have a surgery from a doctor that would just cut your Jimmy off.
But then,
I didn't know that was a surgery.
But then what?
It's like now you just have a stump, or do they like tuck it in?
Nub.
Yeah.
Nub it out.
It's like it just doesn't make
sense.
sense.
If he gets excited, does it like grow a centimeter? Like what happens? Like do they cut all the nerves out? Like I just literally did not know that you could do this. I didn't know you could literally go to the doctor and be like, cut it off. I want to be rich, and I want to be alone.
and this guy who's doing it, like, how many people even know that you made this bet? Like, why would you even bring it up?
Yeah,
like, if you made this bet, and you probably made it after the Northern Illinois loss, which you're drunk, you're hammered, you just got beat by Northern Illinois. I'll cut it off if they. Oh my God!
From the 314, it says just give him a Vegemite sandwich. Could you imagine if that was like in Fescoe's League of Losers?
He's like,
if
nope,
you lost
not
and
doing
eat an entire Vegemite sandwich, Bob might just never be in the league again.
I mean, no. And whose wife is it? Like, if you're married to a woman who would allow you to do that, you're married to the wrong woman.
Nah, that means she's got somebody else.
That's exactly what that means.
Exactly right. She's like, yeah, you can cut it off. It's fine.
Sure, just give me the children. But Tom over here down the street, I tell you what, woo, I don't have to worry about you anymore. Who's doing this? Like, that's why I go back to, like, fans are willing to do so much for their teams, and their teams would never consider doing anything for them.
And you got a bad doctor if he's like, yeah, lay on your back, I'll numb it.
Get ready.
We'll just knock this out.
The state would probably take that doctor's license away. I would think if he did something like that.
That's like stuff they do in the movie Hostel. Yeah, this is just and again, like, we know it's a publicity stunt. I'm sure. That this guy,
but how is he getting publicity? What's he doing?
But like, why would that be? Like, somebody brought this up. Like,
the Hot Tua girl's going to make more money ultimately than this guy. Well, didn't she already? I mean,
we got to make sure she can hold on to it. Somebody's like,
I didn't say keep her money. I'd say make more
That's
money.
true.
Yeah, and like somebody's like, yeah, true. Somebody's like, all right, can we be done with people saying bets if a team loses or wins? Like a beefy 5-layer burrito guy. I guess I'm unaware of that. What is the beefy 5-layer burrito guy?
I don't know that one.
Did he have to eat like 15 of them or something? I almost cussed right there.
That sounds pretty easy.
What, 15 5-layer burritos?
Okay, I guess the time limit. I guess I need a time.
You wouldn't have an ass after that. Oh, gosh. Dude will never go through it. It's BS. Yeah, there's no chance. Like, imagine if, like, Notre Dame wins and you're like, I mean, I'd be, oh, gosh.
And you know what? If you're Ohio State, because of this, just forfeit.
Yes. Let's screw this guy.
You know what? Winning would be great, but watching this guy get his thing cut off would be even better.
Congratulations to the national champion Notre Dame Fighting Irish and to that guy who no longer has his little clover.
That's right. Yeah.
It's all over. Somebody says you have to numb it before you nub it. Coming up on the other side, we'll dive back in more into who the unsung heroes could be in this Chiefs game. Plus, Nate Taylor had a very, very intriguing piece of audio about a defensive player for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll dive into it on the other side on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fescoe and Legend Likens on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Mac Morey here. That Super Bowl, it's coming up. It's right around the corner. So what's your plan? You're going to do the same thing you do every year? You're ready to step it up and try something even better. Get a Super Bowl experience like no other at the Verizon Super Bowl Fan Fest. It's coming to Kansas City live in the Power & Light District on February 9th. You'll get exclusive access to the stadium where your favorite players make history. You'll meet the game's most legendary players, all while enjoying live music. You'll crush some game day bites, maybe even a game day brew. The Super Bowl, it only happens once a year. So who's ready to celebrate bigger than ever before? Tickets are going fast. Don't miss out. Visit your local Verizon store and find out about free tickets today. Must be 18 years or older to attend. Additional terms and conditions apply. See VerizonFanFest.com for details.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run and run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Casey's has 8 new coffee roasts that have been described as having rich aromatics that entice any palate. But, we're not sure what that means, so we just call it darn good coffee. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. Get a free any-size coffee with Casey's Rewards. See Casey's Rewards for details.
Missouri sports fans, I've got great news. Underdog is available to play in your state. Just like for me, Underdog is the best place to cash in on all of your sports takes. It doesn't matter the sport. You want to head over to Underdog to make sure you're part of over the 5 million happy players and $2 billion won. With their champs game, you can win up to 1,000 times your money by just choosing higher or lower on player stats, touchdowns, yards, interceptions, points, rebounds, whatever it is. They got your favorite leagues, teams, stars to choose from, and when you make those selections, you can sign up to win real cash prizes all season long. Underdog is the place to play champs. Download the app, sign up using promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code TAPP. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig, an absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Chiefs coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by award-winning Johnny's Barbecue in Olathe.
Since 1977, Johnny's Barbecue has been serving up award-winning barbecue. Featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Experience Casey's hidden gem of barbecue. Right off Highway 56 in Olathe. Dine in, carry out, delivery, and the best barbecue catering in town. Johnny'sBarbecueKC.com. Johnny's Barbecue. Taste the smoke.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Olathe 35 northbound at Old 56 Highway. 2 left lanes blocked with an accident that has delays stretching back towards Lone Elm. Heading K10 eastbound heavy from before K7 out towards Woodland with a problem in the left lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Listen to the Chiefs and Texans divisional round playoff game on Saturday with pregame starting at noon. Kickoff at 3:30 with Mitch, Dannon, and Kling. Right here on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2. Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Well, I got down to the source of the beefy 5-layer burrito. Yep. That's right. Oh, the old shooter. No way. Is it grilled? Oh.
Hey, Mac, Ralph just texted. He said when it gets cold, he likes to cuddle, so be ready.
Oh, yes. I was hoping.
You can't follow that up with the 5-layer burrito story, Bob. That just can't happen, man. That can't happen, man.
Yeah, I don't like those being connected.
You know, Mac, Ralph likes to cuddle. Did you hear this guy did with his beefy 5-layer burrito? He lost his shove it up his ass. Hey, my buddy Ralph really loves Taco Bell.
We're not stopping at Taco Bell, no.
No, you won't have to. You have food everywhere.
Yeah.
Unforgotten heroes of the Chiefs. Man, who's ready for 95 to have themselves a game, baby? Like, I'm ready for Chris Jones to absolutely be destructive. He's had the time to rest with a calf injury. He's had notoriously known big plays in the playoffs, right? We remember the Brock Purdy deflection. We know that he has, now that we've said it, 11 pass deflections in the playoffs. I think he's played in the playoffs 7 years, right? At least.
He's had an impact in every season of the postseason in a game that has been like the difference maker in that game. Every single postseason, Chris Jones has made a major play that has turned that game and turned the postseason for this team.
Yeah, it's, to me, that's where, like, and Mac and I love this because we love the pressure stat. Like, it's when you look at the sack stat, it's nice. It's obvious. Like, oh, wow, yeah. TJ Watt, he had 16 and a half sacks. TJ Watt's an anomaly. Myles Garrett's an anomaly. They're great at their position, and not a lot of people have been that good. Chris Jones could technically be an anomaly because it's been him and Aaron Donald that have been the two best defensive tackles, and both those guys notoriously known. Now, I know Donald's gotten sacks. Jones had seasons where he's had a lot of sacks. But as they get older and as they stay efficient, people take that away. But again, you're now taking two guys to stop him. He still creates pressure. I guarantee you, at least multiple times in this game on Saturday, you will see where 95 gets through the guys trying to block him, and C.J. Stroud has to bail. The more C.J. Stroud has to bail, the more they will fail, and the more everybody will love what they see on the result of that, because then that's when Trent McDuffie, that's when Jalen Watson, that's when those guys lick their chops and they see that the ball is not going to where it needs to be. It came out early. It came out late. Here's these guys making the stop. You know, Chris Jones causing the ripple effect on this defense. That's going to be the successful pattern in this Houston Texans game.
And that's the way you win football games for years. I mean, I know we focus on the defensive backs a lot, and oh my God, that guy's got to cover this. If you don't get pressure up front, your defensive backs are on an island and they're effed, man, and they don't stand a chance, a snowball's chance in hell of having success if you don't have a defensive line. But I think it's going to be more than just about Chris Jones. I think this is going to be a Turk Wharton game. I think this is going to be a Mike Dana game, because I think those are the two guys that the Houston Texans are going to probably try to quote unquote key on less, because you got Charles Omenihu, who's healthy. You've got George Karlaftis, who's healthy. Together, those two guys are menaces. Like, Karlaftis has benefited so much from having Charles Omenihu back. Chris Jones now back in the middle. And now you've got Turk Wharton and you've got Mike Dana. Right now, I would imagine Spags is walking around that facility going, oh my God, I can't wait till Saturday. I finally have a healthy defensive front. And this is the first time all year that this defensive line has been healthy and together, because Omenihu missed the early part of the season, then Chris Jones has been banged up. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's ready to go. That rotate. I didn't even mention Derek Nottie. We were talking about him. Like, does he still even play here? Like, he hasn't done much this season, which is fine. But you have, and you got FAU as well. So you've got a rotation now to the level that Spags kind of wanted in July. And it's really interesting how we talk about Mahomes and this offense never having the right complement of players together, or the healthy complement of players together until now. Same with the defense. And now all of a sudden you're healthy on offense and you're healthy on defense. And your biggest names, if you will, are along that defensive line. They're healthy. They're ready to go. And I think so much is going to be put on those three guys. And I think Turk Wharton, I think Mike Dana are going to have afternoons, guys. I really do. I think it's going to be a nice Turk Wharton game. Local kid, Missouri S&T, let's go. And so I like rooting for him. And I love Mike Dana. He's one of my favorite players. I think he's one of the most unsung heroes on this team. I think both of those guys are going to have days.
Mac, who's your big X factor on defense? Is it Chris Jones? Is that the guy that's just going to start it all?
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, our guy Nate Taylor just came on and he said Watson's going to play, going to start. I think that's a huge X factor. I think that's even going underrated, because we saw the secondary take a big hit for a few weeks. They found their footing. They got Roland Wallace and all those guys, Josh Williams, all those guys going and get some reps. But Watson was a huge difference maker, so I'm excited to have him back.
I think it's interesting that Briscoe said that with him being able to, like, every once in a while cover Nico, which would be the number one wide receiver, you can slide McDuffie in the slot, and then you're like, is he going to take over like Robert Woods' route, or is he going to cover Dalton Schultz, or is he just going to free storm blitz? And when that's the case, then that makes the quarterback think. Like, what's his video?
100%.
Like, what's he? Because that's not really out there a lot. We haven't seen a lot of blitzing from McDuffie this year, which is what made him so great his first 2 years in the league. Obviously, the luxury of L'Jarius Sneed.
I'd like to see him just blitz. I think that's the fun thing.
Yes,
for me. I don't care about his slot coverage and all that kind of stuff. Him blitzing off the edge is just, it's fun.
He's
it's fun to
dynamite
watch.
at it.
Like, even if he doesn't get there, but you see him coming, it's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. You can feel it. Like, here we go. And then he gets there and he makes a play or whatever. Like, that's what I'm excited for Trent McDuffie, to see that, kind of style of his game and whatnot. And quite honestly, I don't know. I guess it's just my eyes and the way that they work. I never watch the defensive backs. It's always on the offensive line and defensive line for me, to see what's going on up front. And then when the ball gets released, obviously, you kind of figure out where it goes. So I don't know if somebody's covering somebody for a long period of time or they staying with their guy and all that kind of stuff, because I'm watching the stuff up front. If the stuff up front crumbles right away, those guys back in the defensive backfield, those guys won't even get into their routes by the time Chris Jones and company get to the quarterback. That's kind of what I'm expecting this weekend, because we have not seen this full complement of defensive linemen all year. That's the exciting part for me, is that we're all healthy now.
Yeah, and this is a Texans O-line that can be had. So they can wreak havoc.
Yeah, they can. And it's been a kind of a concern for them all year. Every time you looked about the Texans, it was about offensive line, offensive line, offensive line. And so good to know we're not the only ones having a problem.
Yeah.
Text line says that Laramie Tunsil's shown some weakness. Pressure off the left side should be interesting, because that's his blind side, is Laramie Tunsil.
And that's their best player. That's their only notable player on the front, and he has been had too. Which, I mean, we've had those conversations here, right? You can't have
take
one
Laramie
guy.
Tunsil right now, though, right?
Yes,
on this
of course.
Team. Yeah, of course.
You would. Because you'd surround him with the best interior. Right now, he's got Schmo and Joe next to him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when they announced that Watson was going to be back on this defense, I was
so awesome.
I was like, okay, now you've got your two corners. Now you've got your safeties, Reed and Cook are ready to go. I think, Jaden Hicks, too, is a key player in this game, because he can just go out there and just run like a chicken with his head cut off and just stick somebody or just play center field.
And he's gotten reps.
We've literally named the whole roster now as key players.
True.
But that shows you the depth that this team has and the ability. Like, I don't know any other team, and that's why I still go back to Nate's comments about Mahomes being the real MVP, and that's why I picked him as the real MVP. I don't know any other team that could lose this kind of player, these kinds of players, I should say, and still be in this catbird seat. I mean, Detroit, give them credit. They took care of business, right? And they were able to do it with a bunch of injured guys. Like, they lost arguably their heart and soul on defense, right? I mean, so you look at that Lions team, you got to give them a lot of credit for being able to kind of pick up the pieces. But, I mean, this Chiefs team has picked up the pieces better than anybody with all these injuries. And now we're healthy, man. This is July. This is what Andy Reid had in the script in July. This was his team minus Rashee Rice. This was the team that we went to camp with waiting to see. And it took to January 18th before we saw the team that they had on the field and they wanted on July 15th. The NFL.
Monday,
you want to doubt Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes? Let's go.
Monday, if we're talking about a victory, you think we're saying it's because the offense or the defense?
I think I'm going to go defense. I think this defense is going to play big. I do. I think it's going to be one of these type of games. Like, let's say we win this game wild card style 41-14, just for argument's sake. Oh, wow, 41 points for the offense. Yeah, but they limited Houston to 14 points, and to me, that's more impressive than putting up 41.
They go 41, there's a defensive touchdown on the board.
100%.
Yeah, or a special teams touchdown.
Yeah, return, yeah.
Or maybe both.
What say you, Machiavelli? You think there's a offense or defensive reasoning?
My take this whole season has been, well, these last 2 months at least, has been, come January, this will be the best offense in the NFL. So I think we're about to see that on Saturday.
You're not right. The whole season is January.
Why? Yeah, exactly. why can't we have one of those games? Like, we were watching the highlights earlier of Ray Lewis picking off, was it Steve McNair in the 2000 AFC playoffs?
Divisional round.
Yeah, and like it was a bad throw to Eddie George. It kind of went off him. Ray Lewis picked it up and scored and ran like 52 yards for a touchdown. And we're looking at that, and Brian Billick celebrating. I go, yeah, because he drew that up. Right? But, like, that's what I want this weekend. I want a party in the third quarter.
Yes.
You know, I do. I want I want fun. I want a party. I want a celebration. I want people having a good time and not sweating this one out, and then rolling into Saturday night and taking Sunday to kick back and laugh at people freezing their tails off.
I think the
Buffalo.
reason that I want that is because I want the fan bases and the teams of Buffalo and Baltimore to be like, oh, shit.
And that's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other. That's the subconscious thing, but not just the team, not just the fans.
Yeah.
The other teams watching that.
Oh boy, they're not rusty at all. That's Bob. I am Dusty, and that's Mac. And the divisional round coverage here on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Coming up next, it's the Goldilocks. It's time to win some money, baby.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, I'll tell you what you have going on this weekend besides football. You're going foaling because foaling is perfect for everyone. And now this time of year, it's going to be cold this weekend, especially on Sunday. I think the high is 13. Go inside and foal around and find out and have so much fun doing it. We were foaling last Friday and had the best time. We're still talking about it almost a week later. That's how much fun we had at foaling. And foaling is perfect for everyone, for kids, for date night, for parent night out, for a charity event, work party. It doesn't matter. Foaling is there for you, and they're ready to have you stay warm and burn off all that extra energy if you got those kiddos. It's football plus bowling plus bar, and that equals Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. 435 and State Line is where they're located, and you're bowling, but with a football. You're throwing that football at the bowling pins, trying to knock them all down and be king of your castle, and you can do that at Foaling. They've got a world-class bar, and you can cater your own events as well with any food that you want to bring. So reserve a lane now at foalingkc.com. That's foalingkc.com and get your foal on.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay's Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 40.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome back to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. It's time for Golden Locks with Alex Gold.
Gotta figure out how to make money on this thing. It's simply too good.
All right, it's that guy from that betting show.
Which one?
That one. Alex Gold joins us in the 9 o'clock hours. He does every Thursday. Welcome to the show, Mr. Gold.
What's up, guys?
How are you?
I'm good.
Not wearing shorts today. It's going to be 45.
I mean, tomorrow the pools are opening back up.
Yeah,
so it's going to be 50.
baby. You don't even need a pool. Just go in your backyard and swim in melted snow.
Can we get this stuff to finally melt out?
No, it's going to freeze.
Let me run this by you real fast. Get all your opinions on this one.
Okay.
My friend Vip is in the Las Vegas airport right now. And he sends me a picture of the Raiders team store in the Las Vegas airport.
Okay.
Nobody in it. And I zoom in and I'm scanning all the merchandise. It's all Raiders, like a hockey jersey with Max Crosby on it. Raiders. The only shirt that I see that has the city on it is one for sale that says Los Angeles Raiders.
Really? Huh. That's.
Are they trying to do like the Los Angeles Strong?
Nope.
No. Those are all. I think those are all literally say like the team logo with LA Strong or whatever.
I don't see one piece of merchandise in this Raiders store in Las Vegas that says Las Vegas Raiders on it. That is insane to me.
Is that just an airport thing because they figure there's people coming in from LA all the time and it's like they're trying to appeal to them, or versus?
I don't know, but if you're the Raiders, aren't you trying to market that? I don't know. People will buy that show, I'm sure. I would buy that shirt just to have it to see Los Angeles, because it's different. But yeah, that's weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, that would be like, I don't even know. Like, that would be.
When's the last time you bought something non-food related at an airport?
Never.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I ever have.
I think I bought something because I was an idiot and did the shampoo thing. So they were selling like little plastic bottles that you could actually
yeah, but like some of these airports have like suit shops in them.
Well, for a while there was like
who's getting their hair cut in an airport? I guess if you're so busy, people are doing that.
I think one time, does beer count? I guess food and beverage. But like I get one time they had like the T-shirts in the vending machine at the old like before
I
did that one time just to see what I get. I was like, I just wasted. I mean, it was like $1.
I get if somebody has to have a cell phone charger, they use the vending machine for that. But I'm just talking about like going into a store and buying a hoodie or I guess if you're in it's different to me if you're in Cancun or something, and but I'm just randomly in the Milwaukee airport. Am I buying a
Giannis jersey?
You might.
I mean, but I can get that anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the other thing about the cell phone chargers, never buy one of those. Just go to any hotel and say you left yours in your room. They'll show you a box. Just take what you need. I'm serious.
I guess they probably have hundreds of them.
And
Hundreds
those
of
people
them.
ain't ever coming back.
Right. Nobody ever. When have you ever gone back? It's only a cell phone charger. I'll get another one. You go to the front desk at a hotel. Go. I was in a room. I left my cell phone charger. Can I see if you got it? They'll bring you out a box.
I've never thought about that, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Or just go to a restaurant and say you left your sunglasses. There's like a pile of them. Dude.
See, that's where I don't want to wear somebody else's sunglasses. I'm a germaphobe.
I had a guy tipped me $5 one time, left a nice pair of Oakleys. We left him up there for a couple of weeks. He never came back. I said, I guess I'll take this as my tip.
You just took them.
Yeah.
Did you sell them then on eBay or something? Make some money off of them?
No, they're my swim glasses. They're not like an expensive pair of Oakleys. They're not like and they're definitely not like the goofy movie ones that like Mahomes and those guys wear that cover half your face.
The ski goggle looking sunglasses.
Live
your life, but like
I could never pull those off. So it's like
you're also
out.
30.
Yeah. Mahomes is 30, and it's a little bit different when you're a professional athlete.
And you're getting a lot of money for that. Okay, let's get to the conversation, the betting segment. 8.5 Chiefs. You love, hate, stay away. What do you like here?
Yes, I think there's other bets within the game we can get to that are more intriguing to me than the spread. If I had to bet the spread, I feel comfortable taking the Chiefs at 8.5. I liked it when you could have had at 7.5 earlier on in the week. You just look at the history of not only Mahomes, as we all know, in the divisional round, but also just how teams have fared in the divisional round, and typically even as 8+ point favorites, they cover like 15-10 over the last 25 or so when teams are 8 points or more favorites. The Chiefs and Lions both fall into that spot this week. And I think she's going to be in the house, but also they didn't play that long ago. I mean, they played in week 16. I think the Chiefs are as healthy as any NFL team can be this late in the season.
I said earlier, we have our full complement of players. Like when they went to camp on July 15th, other than Rashee Rice, this is what they thought, and they haven't had this until today.
Yeah, it's true. And here's how the Chiefs have fared in playoff openers for Mahomes, and these are games in which Mahomes was healthy, which he also had some more time to get that ankle right. They won by 18 going all the way back to 2018. They won by 20 in their first playoff game in 2019 against the Texans. We all know that. 2021, they beat the Steelers by 21 in their opener, and then last year they won by 19 against the Dolphins. So I just think typically it's another scenario where you get a little extra time to prepare. It would not surprise me at all if the Chiefs win by 10 points or something like that on Sunday. But that's not my favorite bet in game. I think there's some prop bets. I'm sure you guys have been paying attention to some of them out there as well, specifically Travis Kelce.
Sure.
It's the playoffs. We all know how this goes for him.
52.5 is what I saw on DraftKings for receiving yards.
So I like the receiving better than the reception. So right now he's had 13 straight postseason games with at least 70 yards receiving. That's the longest streak in playoff history. He also has 5 or more receptions in 14 straight games. And if you look on FanDuel or Bob over at Underdog when they're listing their numbers, the they're all going to have that 5.5. Makes sense because he's got the streak. So that one is juiced pretty heavily to minus 145. So you're paying a little bit of a price to bet it. Whereas what you just said, the receiving yardage, I know that he's had 13 straight games of 70 or more, and his number's at what? You said 52?
2.5.
So I think there's more wiggle room. I like the receiving yardage bet for Kelce more than the receptions. You might be right that he hits both, but I think the yardage is a little bit more in play than even the receptions because it's not minus 145 for me to bet the yardage the way it is.
Yeah, Underdog has a 53.5 receiving yards, 5.5 receptions, half a touchdown, rushing and receiving touchdowns at a half.
I'm out on touchdown bets for everybody except for Patrick Mahomes this weekend. So I don't think there's any value on 2-1 for Kelce to get a touchdown or Kareem Hunt to get a touchdown. Anytime touchdown markets, unless you're going with the flyer on first touchdown where the odds are much greater for you, or value I should say is much greater, I think that market has been kind of condensed so well by the bookmakers where it's hard to bet an anytime touchdown unless you're going way down the board. This week, my only touchdown bet in the Chiefs game that I like is Patrick Mahomes. And the thought process there, remember this would have to be a rushing touchdown, not a passing touchdown, is we all see in the playoffs, he just runs more in the postseason. That's just the numbers back it up. We all know some of the greatest moments, the sideline, he's not out of bounds yet, call from Mitch against the Titans in the AFC title game. Like some of his big moments are running the football down the sideline. Right. I think it's more likely in a game like this that Mahomes gets a rushing touchdown than it was, 5 weeks ago in a regular season game. He's spoken publicly that he's willing to put his body on the line more in crucial moments. Well, here we go. It's do or die time. It's the postseason.
Do you like Travis Kelce, though, as the first TD scorer in this, or do you not like him to get in the end zone at all? Because I personally think it's going to be a huge postseason again for Travis Kelce. And that means getting into the end zone, obviously. And I think they're going to make it a point to get him into the end zone because he's been saving it all year, right? I mean, it's no secret the last 2 regular seasons, Travis is like, just get me to the playoffs and let's see what I can do. Now's the playoff time. I just expect Travis Kelce to go hog wild out there and go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we just mentioned 13 straight games in the postseason where he's had over 70 yards. And the touchdown bet, the only way I would do it would be maybe a first touchdown bet flyer. Otherwise, it's just there's not enough value there to bet on a touchdown market for most of these players. Unless,
or you
again,
think he scores 2.
Sure, something like
you
that.
You bet the 1,100.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the way you'd get the money or the juice there. Because you just bet 5 and you win your money back. Let's look at the Texans side. Who do you like? Like Nico, Mixon, any numbers there? Stroud numbers? Like Stroud doesn't really run really at all. I do think he's going to be pressured, so I think there's a little bit of value there.
In terms of him just running off of a scramble, because he's under pressure?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for his rushing total, by the way, for those wondering over at FanDuel, 14.5. It's a very low number. We saw last week against the Chargers, it takes one play to get that. A play broke down, and he was able to go, and it kind of changed the game a little bit.
24.5, FYI, for those that wanted to know.
Yeah, so it's such a low number. It's not my favorite bet, but it's with Stroud and that number being as low, it is we are talking about one scramble. He's able to get away one time to get you there. I'd have to go back and look on Stroud yardage throughout the season. How often has he gone over 14.5? I know it's on first glance we're like that's a low number. My guess is it's so low. He probably hasn't got over that often. But I do think with all these quarterbacks, especially if you look at with the exception of maybe Goff and Stafford, I'm trying to think. I think they're all mobile other than that. Just off the top of my head. They're all more likely to run in the playoffs because you're willing to put your body on the line more in these moments. It just doesn't. You're not protecting yourself the way you would in week 3.
Yeah, that's why the 23.5 total rushing yards on Underdog right now for Patrick Mahomes are like higher.
Yeah, no, I like that. And that's what same logic as the touchdown bet. Just that I think it's just more likely for him to take off and run. The ankle should be feeling pretty good. Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson, will obviously give you some opportunities there.
Are there any bets where you're looking at this weekend for the Chiefs and the Texans where you're like, I am staying away. I'm not going near that thing. I don't care what it is. Anything that kind of scares you, if you will.
Over under?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not on the total for the game. If you're talking about that, I would say it's interesting right now, unless this changes, it's going to be the lowest total in a Mahomes playoff game ever.
What is it, 41?
So it's 41. Yeah, it's 41.5, 40, depending on where you look.
Why you don't like that number, or you think that number is perfect?
I think it's getting it's almost getting to the point where if it keeps going down, I might take the over in the game. They played in week 16 and it was 27-19, so that was over the number that we're sitting at. But if this game closes anywhere under 43.5, and it's 2 points under right now, it would be the lowest over-under for any playoff game that Patrick Mahomes has ever played in. And, what does that actually mean? This is an offense that now had more time to integrate Hollywood Brown. We saw what he did. I would not be surprised if the Chiefs put up 27 plus or 30 points in the game. And I know this defense is playing great, but to get over that number, if the Chiefs are putting up 28 or 30, you're not asking for the Texans to score 24 points.
No.
You don't really need much. So it's getting low enough where I'm leaning towards the over in that game if we had to make a total bet.
Because I don't think the Texans are going to score a lot. I think this is going to be a great defensive effort by the Chiefs with everybody being healthy. So with that number, it kind of makes sense. Like, do you think the Chiefs are going to put up 42 points on their own if the Chiefs pitch a shutout? Not that they will.
I mean, it
but
could look a lot like that Buffalo-Denver game, too.
Could, yeah, 31-7 or something. Yeah.
The only one thing to watch, I would say, in the first, if you're looking for just a completely different way to approach betting the game, is the first half. And this, for whatever reason, the Texans this year and D'Amico Ryan, throughout his career as a head coach, year and a half, whatever, he's been really good in the first half. So maybe at halftime, Chiefs fans are stressed out because the game is close in the first half. Doesn't mean they can't win. Right. But the Texans are 14-4 against the spread in the first half this year. So they get off to a good start. Maybe you do buy into any of the Russ stuff, and for a quarter, the Chiefs' offense is slow. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this would be the logical why you would bet the Texans. First half, the Texans are 4.5 point dogs in the first half. All right, and they cover 14-4 in the first half, and D'Amico Ryans with C.J. Stroud is 26-9 in the first half against the spread. So there's strong numbers behind betting the Texans to cover the first half in this game.
By the way, 8 times is when he went over 14
so
and a half.
A little less than half the season. Okay.
Yeah, because if you count the playoff game, that was the 8th time. So let's go around the league. Is there a game? Because, let's talk about the biggest game. Buffalo-Baltimore. Buffalo is a dog at home. Gold, you know me. I love to gamble. I always take home dogs in the playoffs. I have ever since I've been able to legally gamble. I've done it with my friends. I'll take the underdog at home. I still like Buffalo in this game over Baltimore, and I don't know how I can explain it. I just think that at home in that weather with that temperature, I know Lamar's good. I know he's going to be all right, but on the road in those frigid, like the temperature's nasty in Buffalo, like 9 degrees and a chance of snow. I'm interested to see how that works out for him.
So the line flipped throughout the week. It opened up where you're at, which is the Bills being the favorite, the home team, and we all know the line is completely reversed. The Baltimore Ravens are now 1.5 point favorites. This is the first time, if it closes this way, that the Bills will be home underdogs in a playoff game since Len Dawson went into Buffalo back in the 60s. 1967, when they lost 31-7 to Kansas City, and they were 3.5 point dogs.
Advantage with the weather. I mean, that's crazy to think and say it out loud, but
18 straight home playoff games for the Bills. They've been favorites.
Wow.
So we're looking at some history in terms of if this line closes this way. I'm on the opposite side of you. I think it's a coin flip game. I actually like Baltimore in this game. And I get people's skepticism about Lamar in the postseason, and Josh Allen typically plays great in the playoffs. I don't like it. It's just a matchup thing. Like if we were just asking and ranking out who's the better team, I also think Josh Allen should be the MVP this year, not Lamar Jackson, even though Lamar's been incredible. I think Josh Allen's more valuable to his team.
Yeah, Lamar had Derrick
but it's
Henry.
not a great matchup. You guys had Nate Taylor, I think, on today. We had him on earlier in the week, and he was talking. We had Ross Tucker on as well, and they both said the same thing about the Bills and Sean McDermott and the way they play defense. Like, they're not maybe willing to commit to stopping the run the same way some other teams will. Well, you're playing the Baltimore Ravens. You're playing Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Like, if you're not going to do that,
Baltimore's
you're
offensive
vulnerable.
coordinator is committed to stopping the run at times.
Well, this is why I like them too. I'm glad you brought that up, because we all know last year against the Chiefs, they refused to run the football. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Last week against a terrible Steelers team, and I think all three of us called the Steelers being out in that one. They had a 13-play drive, the Ravens did. They ran all 13 plays. That shows me that they're actually willing to do it this go-around, especially when Derrick Henry's the guy. I think Baltimore ultimately is who's coming to Kansas City next week. I like Baltimore on the money line. You can -1.5. It's a pick 'em anyway. But I'm on the Ravens.
And what you got, like almost like a deep look into the future, where like either way, if they played Baltimore or Buffalo, they were both the Chiefs.
Chiefs are favorite. Yeah, well, they sent the lines out yesterday. Chiefs are a favorite against Buffalo and a bigger favorite against Baltimore than Buffalo is what I saw.
So at least and maybe it's different at different books. At least at FanDuel, the look-ahead lines, the Chiefs would be 1.5 point favorites against both Buffalo and Baltimore. And someone asked earlier on Twitter, like, hey, how does this stuff work? You can bet on these look-ahead lines, and if the matchup doesn't happen, your bet's voided, right? So it's not like you're risking.
Like betting for a guy to get a home run, he has to have an at-bat for it to be actually an actual bet.
If you think there's better value on the line now, if you think the Chiefs are winning and they're playing playing, let's just say, Baltimore, and you're like, okay, well, the Chiefs won't be 1.5-point favorites. They're going to be underdogs or something. Well, then you want to wait then.
Yeah.
If you think Baltimore ends up being the favorite, then right now you might think there's good value on betting the Ravens currently at 1.5.
See, I got the Chiefs and Ravens as a pick 'em next week right now.
Okay, is that offshore?
This is whatever that
Shapiro.
Yeah,
so
whatever
that's
Jim,
offshore.
Bet online.
So that's offshore, and that's fine. I mean, there's different lines that can maneuver. It doesn't. These hypothetical matchup lines don't mean that that's guaranteed how it'll open, but that's where there's some value at times if you think you know how the weekend's going to play out.
Yeah, because somebody could get hurt. And then all of a sudden, if Derrick Henry got hurt, that line would shift drastically. But you'd be like, I got the Chiefs at -1.5, so that's cool.
Or if let's just play this out. I think it's very tough for a 15-win team to ever be able to play the underdog role. But I kind of like what I think could happen this weekend, which is the Ravens go up to Buffalo, tough environment. We just mentioned how it's rare to be a home dog.
Smash 'em.
They look pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And let's say the Chiefs squeak by instead. The Ravens will be favorites next week, and I hope that's what happens. It requires both those things happening. I mean, if the Chiefs are dominant, they'll be a favorite, and they're at home. But
Same thing with Buffalo, though. If Buffalo were to dominate against Baltimore and the Chiefs win 27-24,
same thing.
They'll put Allen as a favorite.
So that's why, from a Chiefs angle, if you're looking at betting look ahead where they're already 1.5-point favorites, unless an injury happens, I think you hold off on betting the Chiefs in. The only reason why I would do a look-ahead line now would be betting Baltimore as the 1.5-point dog right now, or Buffalo as the dog, because I don't think the Chiefs are going to become even bigger favorites unless they put together just another 51-31 win like they did against the Texans.
All right, not a gambling, take per se, but if the Chiefs are underdogs in the AFC Championship game at home, I feel sorry for the opponent, man.
Oh, I hope it happens. Make the same mistake.
right?
Gonna do this whole thing again? Remember last year? Now, they were on the road at Baltimore, but one of the books, our friends out in Vegas at Circa, they continued because they were desperately needing money on the Chiefs. And so they kept pushing the line out. And I think at one point the Chiefs closed, at least at Circa, as 4.5-point dogs, even at that book. And which is crazy. And people make the same mistake. They're dislike, not the books, but fans nationally, dislike for the Chiefs so much that they're willing to blow their own money. You know what I mean? Because they hate the Chiefs that much outside of here. And so it's shaping up, guys, to happen again.
Right, it is. And that's the thing. Like we talked about, Sean Payton's comments about, we will be ready for the Chiefs. So next year when you're getting ready to bet the Denver Broncos against the Chiefs, load up on the Chiefs.
I know
we said that about Vegas
learn?
this year with Kermit the Frog, and that didn't really pay out.
But weren't there some injuries that popped in that game?
That was D-Hop's first game, actually, I think.
Yeah, week 8 and week 13.
I mean, I don't know. The only injury I remember from that game, unfortunately, was Jody Fortson. There was a minute left in the game, unfortunately.
That's the one where they scored late, and it was 27-13. Yeah,
not the one at home with the O'Connell fumble or whatever.
Yeah.
Moving around the other two games in the NFC. I love the Rams +6.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Okay.
I'm definitely on the Rams. Last week we talked about them. They were fresh, they were rested, and we like the Rams quite a bit. I still think there's a chance they end up in the NFC title game. I like them to cover the 6. I like them to win outright. I think they're going to Philly and getting a victory.
Okay, I don't disagree with that.
That's +235. That's a good cheese.
So both. The way I'm betting it is just to that way you're not going 0 for. I'm doing the spread and a money line bet. That way, look, at worst case, I think they can cover. I also have the Rams in a teaser, and for those that haven't been listening to the segment throughout the season.
Which segment?
This segment, but also that betting show.
Which one?
That one. And you can tease the Rams up to 12.5 points, even a 6-point teaser, and then you could tease the Chiefs down if you're really nervous, and all of a sudden the Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites, and then the Rams are 12.5-point dogs. I'm not saying it's a sure thing by any means, but I would feel very good about that situation. It would be -130 if you did that. But
Are there odds out there that if Philadelphia loses, like Sirianni getting fired, can you bet that right now?
That would be more on the offshore stuff from Jimmy Shapiro that sends out that kind of stuff. You wouldn't be able to bet on that on FanDuel or any of these other sites.
I was going to say, you can also go to the offshore, and I bet there's an appearance number of Taylor Swift. I bet it's like 3.5.
That's where, even when we here in a couple weeks, we'll talk Super Bowl and everything. When you guys are down there, the odds on that kind of stuff, a lot of it you can't bet here.
Right.
Some of the fun ones, but the Gatorade.
Because I got
colors.
a guy that I know could look into those coolers and tell me what color I kid. But
but that's, in all seriousness, that's why a lot of the books don't offer it, because it's a market like that is so easy to. Same with the anthem. You can't in Kansas.
Hey, gosh, go look at the Gatorade and tell me what color it is.
Purple. Can you gamble legally in New Orleans?
Yes, they have casino.
Louisiana, that's why Texas doesn't have it. So a lot of people believe the reason why the state of Texas doesn't have sports betting or casinos is because the lobbyists in Louisiana spend just millions and millions and millions of dollars preventing Texas, like trying to lobby against it.
Oh, yeah, because everybody comes over.
Yeah, when I lived in Houston,
Is the dome called the MGM Dome?
It is. No, you can gamble in Louisiana. Yeah.
Like on your phone, like it's legal gambling.
It depends on what parish you're in Louisiana. It's based on parish down there, not by state, which is so they're because when we were doing
Caesars
the reads,
is big down there.
Yeah, Caesars has a nice casino right in the center of New Orleans. It's a cool little place. But they always say on those commercials, you hear those national gambling commercials, and they say in Louisiana based on parish. So
interesting.
I guess it depends.
I think
on
you're
where
good
you
in
are.
New Orleans. I mean, heck, the stadium is the Caesars Superdome or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
What was I just drawn a blank on what we were discussing about the betting stuff with that in the Super Bowl. But anyway,
the prop bets,
just some of the prop bet stuff. I mean, Texas and all that. That's what we were. I would drive from Houston to Lake Charles all the time.
That's not a far drive, though.
Hour and 45, 2 hours. Yeah.
We hijacked a bus one time and went to a casino. What? I'm sorry.
All right.
I need more on that.
Yeah, well, I'll give it. Well, I was doing
quiz, hot shot. There's a bus going down the freeway. Last one, Detroit, 9.5. You think that house money's running out for Washington?
I want the Commanders to keep this going. I do think overall Jaden Daniels is just a big game player, right? He's one of those special quarterbacks that steps up, unlike Justin Herbert, unlike Sam Darnold, that just don't have it in big games. But no, I think the Lions are going to beat them up good. I don't know how the Commanders slow down the Lions offense, and that's why it's the highest total of the week, too. I think that one could get ugly.
85.5.
Yeah, I think it could get ugly, as much as I would love for the Commanders.
And how many people in Kansas City are really going to see that one by the time we all get home from the game, do our thing,
Very true.
Yeah, I won't be sober. What do you got coming up on the show today?
Yeah, so obviously we'll discuss some of the Sean Payton comments. Sarah Walsh from NFL Network, she's covering the game. She's going to be in town this week. She'll join us around 10:30 or so. Dane and Hughes, 12:10. So we'll get 2 days away, guys. We're 2 days away from...
Today's Friday.
Yeah.
Feels like it. It is, yeah, in the Chiefs world.
Yeah. By the way, if you're hungry, there's Vegemite sandwich out there if you want to try it.
I'm so out on that.
Yeah, I am too.
Oh, gosh.
There's still...
Bob
we did that
refused.
2 hours
I
ago.
heard that driving in. I heard you guys joking about it. I'm like, why are they joking about Vegemite? And then you gave me the backstory, and I saw it out there. Nope. Even though I can't smell.
Yeah.
No, you could taste that. That's one of those things that you'll taste.
Well, and I feel like
it's creamy.
Texture.
Yeah. Once you said it was creamy and I'm like,
I'm out.
It stayed with me for about an hour, man.
I'll see you guys.
It's like a stage 5 clinger, but food-wise. Coming up on the side, Bob's got a question for the audience. He wants to know if he's abusing the system or doing exactly what he should be. We'll discuss what that is on 96.5 The Fan, your home, Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
It's the best time of the year. The chase for a Chiefs three-peat has begun, and Hy-Vee has everything we need to cheer on the Chiefs during the playoffs. They have a huge selection of official Chiefs apparel and party supplies, and Hy-Vee has endless tailgate and watch party food options with wings, ready-to-bake pizza, and freshly prepared dips, party trays, and so much more. Plus, the Hy-Vee Bakery has some fun Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. And don't forget the Hy-Vee Wine and Spirits Department. The chase for a three-peat begins only at Hy-Vee.
At Shane Company, our engagement rings are the perfect blend of design, function, and beauty. Each one a unique work of art. We meticulously craft our bridal jewelry in our jeweler's workshop to the highest standards, expertly setting each diamond by hand, ensuring the structure is perfectly balanced, and sizing everything for the perfect fit. Shane Company offers a free unmatched lifetime warranty because your engagement ring is an heirloom that was made to last. You'll cherish your ring today, tomorrow, and forever. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage,
or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Divisional round coverage of the Chiefs and Texans on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs.
Mac, Bob needs your opinion. He wants us to be nice and let Speck, kind of have an opportunity to try the Vegemite sandwich. Thinks we should leave him on his desk for when he gets back in town.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I'd said we should hide it.
Oh, shoot. Never mind. Yeah.
Hide it in his office, and that way it starts to decay and smell. And
I don't think it smells. Does it smell? I don't know.
I think most Vegemite was made in the 80s anyway.
If it made you hallucinate, would you eat it?
No.
Oh, man, I'd go have another.
No. The reaction that you two are still having 2 hours later to this.
Uh-huh.
Not good.
No, I'm having bad burps.
Ew. Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
see,
God, bless America.
It starts to repeat on you. You're going to be burping up that. Like when you eat onion or something,
You're gonna bring up a story about another gas station. But I want to bring this up. Quick Trip tweeted this out yesterday. And they said things that should be banned before TikTok. Obviously, that's the conversation going on. TikTok's going to be banned. Backing into parking spaces, saying Happy New Year after January 7th, paying with all pennies. I don't know if people still did that. Parking at the pump to go inside. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
Daylight savings time. Gas stations without rollers, and calling Twitter X. Those should all be banned before TikTok.
I agree.
Yeah.
The
backup guy at Quick Trip never understood it. Now, the only time I've ever understood it is
the guy parking backwards into the spot?
That's right.
It's easier to get out because, and I will tell you this.
At 5 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, no, not at 5 a.m.
I was
but
okay,
at 5 a.m., that's a different story. But like in the middle of the day, if you can back in,
if you know how to do it,
easier
you're great.
to get out because there's no worse parking lot on earth other than a school parking lot at pickup time than a Quick Trip parking lot.
It's tough. It's tough because everybody forgets how to drive in a parking lot once they go to Quick Trip.
Yeah.
It is insane.
They're awful. The one on Main has been awful for 25 years now. I mean, right there off the plot.
We have people that cut through the pumps, and I'm like, dude, we don't know what you're doing.
It's awful. Like people just drive like idiots in the Quick Trip parking lot. It is terrible. Then you get to a school parking lot. But I've now know, like, if I have to go into the parking lot, I do back in because you're not getting out. You're just not. If you don't back in, you're not going to be able to get out. It's a pain in the ass, right? So Casey's, and I want to run this by everybody, and I know Carrington will be on my side in this one, right? I think you're on my side in this one. Mac probably is.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I think most people would be on my side in this one. So in the app this month to the end of the month, Casey's, which I love Casey's, love their pizza, their taco pizza, brioche, right? Like,
oh yeah,
so good.
Crushed Doritos on top.
Their breakfast pizza is phenomenal as well.
Terrific.
I love it. And so in this month in the app, if you have the Casey's app, which I do, it's a free coffee every day. No purchase required. Just go in and get the free coffee. So I've been stopping every morning and getting the free coffee.
Size irrelevant?
No, it's any size, doesn't matter. I refill my Manning Roofing mug, and I take it in there and get a refill with that, and boom, I'm ready to go. First 2 days I did buy something because there was, some of those one bars were in the app. It was buy one, get one free, so I got one of those as well. But the last 2 days I went in there, I didn't buy anything. I just got the free coffee.
Sorry.
Am I okay doing that? Because I do feel kind of...
I think there's two sides of this. One, you're going in there when they're not busy because you're probably going in there, like 4:30, 4:45?
Yeah, about 4:30 in the morning.
There's no one else in there.
Nobody's
right? So they're not busy.
Nothing's really open at that hour.
Now, if you were going in there and the register was packed and she was busy and you're just like, it's my free coffee, which I still don't think that's a bad idea because if you do that, you're just like, yeah, it's just a coffee. Like, all right, see you later. Also, I think the other part of it is that they're trying to get you to go in there to buy something. Of course, yeah. So they're like, hey, we're giving you a free something so you can pay for this, which you've already done that. You did the one bar, you've given your, whatever, and you might go in there later on this month and get a slice of breakfast pizza as well. I don't know, what your day consists of, but I don't hate it. Now, every day is excessive. Go every day, but if you went Monday, Wednesday, Friday to get a free cup of coffee, absolutely there should be zero problem. You will have people that will say something if you go there Monday through Friday, because I don't know. I didn't think people were in the wrong coming into Jack Stack on Tuesday to get a veteran discount for 50% off, and they only came in on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Why would I come in any other day? I'm getting a lunch for 50% off every Tuesday. I'm like, fair enough. You're still coming in here.
Any place that offers something for free. I always feel like I'm taking advantage of this system.
Because you're talking about it on the air. So now people are going to go to Casey's.
Yeah, but still, I feel like I'm just, because, I don't know, it just feels kind of weird.
It is weird, but I think you're fine. No, I think that's their promotion. Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Somebody drink coffee, I would.
Somebody says, yes, you're good. If they offer it, why should I feel bad taking it? Somebody says, it's fine. If they want to give you something for free, you should accept it with no consequences. Right? It's like... I don't know, when you go to somebody's house, my refrigerator's your refrigerator. Feel free to take anything you want.
Yeah.
You can find out who's really about that and who's not real fast.
Mm-hmm.
You go in there and grab a soda or a beer out of their fridge and pop it and sit down. They're like, oh, nice.
I don't care if somebody does that.
You said it was my...
Yeah, you want to help yourself. I don't care. That's never been an issue to me.
Now,
we don't have anything.
If they start, for the rest of the month, buy one, get one free slice of pizza...
You're in there every day.
I'm in real big trouble. I'm in real big trouble. Because I know on the McDonald's app, they were giving away $1 10-piece McNugget with any purchase of fry or a Coke. Dude, I'll go get a Coca-Cola from McDonald's just to get a $1 10-piece.
What's the best freebie that you ever took advantage of via an app or something like that? Because these apps do offer, every place offers something in their app a lot of times.
Apple TV gave you 30 days free to trial, and that's when you watch Ted Lasso.
Okay, I'll tell you what the best freebie is for everybody is when you have T-Mobile and they give you the baseball package for free on your phone.
Lady Nasty.
See?
That says Lady Nasty.
Right.
I don't know why it says that.
It's supposed to say LA Dynasty, and they combine the words, and it's Lady Nasty. But the MLB TV for free on T-Mobile, I always take advantage of that. I think that's great.
Now, this is a Richard. The lady at Casey's said one guy came in 9 times in one day and got coffee and hot cocoa.
Okay. That's abusing the system.
Yeah, see, that's effed.
Yeah, that's abusing the system.
That's 9 times?
Yeah.
In college, we would wait till 10:45. They would give us the breakfast pizza leftovers for free.
No. People eat breakfast pizza all day long. You and I were talking about that. The only food, in my opinion, that is acceptable to eat 24/7 is pizza.
But they don't put it on the rack all day long. After 11, it's gone.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It sucks. That's why when we get out of here early, I'm like, I got to go to Casey's. I got to take Metcalf home and hit this little Casey's corner.
Yeah.
There'll be a slice or two left, and I'll smash. But if I get to Lee Summit, it's 11 o'clock.
It's gone?
It's pepperoni sausage, and that's our hamburger.
Oh, wow.
It is what it is. It's McDonald's' breakfast is 10:30.
Yeah, I know. They close
what
that
happened
thing
to
down.
that, dude? I thought it was 11. I got there the other day, and I was like, yeah, I got to do number 7.
Oh, it's been 10:30 forever.
Isn't Chick-fil-A, is it 10?
They're all 10:30.
10:30,
yeah.
McDonald's used to 24 hours, and then COVID hit.
And then they got rid of that.
Yeah, it sucked, dude. I was getting breakfast burritos at 7 p.m. Gosh, breakfast food is so good.
The 815 says Vegemite on pizza.
Okay.
Also
That's
good.
not true. I did realize that I found this out. Pesto on pizza is good.
Pesto's fantastic on pizza, yeah.
Oh,
Pesto
any
base.
kind of pizza. Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's the Maui Wowie at Main Slice and Lee Summit. It's pesto base, mozzarella cheese, pineapple, ham, jalapeno, Caribbean jerk chicken.
I'm out on all that.
Banana
stuff.
peppers.
The pesto and cheese and everything else. I'm like, I'm out on that one.
Just pineapple on pizza. Yeah.
Not good.
Not good.
Yeah, you can pick it off.
Not good.
I like the rest of what you
like
said.
pesto and grilled chicken on a pizza is really good. A grilled chicken pesto pizza.
That's basically what this is. It's Caribbean.
You just said jalapeno,
No, I didn't say
Caribbean
jalapeno.
jerk.
I never said jalapeno.
You didn't?
Nope. I said banana
Banana
peppers.
Banana peppers, yeah.
Caribbean jerk chicken, pesto, mozzarella. There is Canadian bacon or ham, and then there's like the pineapple chunks.
That's nothing like grilled chicken and pesto. That's like 85 other things on top of that.
816, have you tried the Mac pizza from Casey's? I have not.
What's that?
Probably
Mac and cheese?
And what do you think it is? It's Mac pizza.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Like
It's
macaroni
so
and
good.
cheese on top of the
Mac's
pizza?
awesome. Yeah, no sweet on my pizza except for barbecue. Okay. I just love that people are like, I'm not going to try it because there's this on it. Like, you might like it. Like,
No, I'd give it a shot.
yeah, it's fantastic. And if you don't like it, take the pineapple off. It's like people don't like onions on pizza. You take the onion off the pizza, you still eat it.
But you don't order it with that. You could like customize your pizzas too.
Yeah. I mean, you could do half and half. and
Yeah. Yeah.
We did that all the time back then.
That's what we did growing up. Half pepperoni, half mushroom. Mm-hmm. Half pepperoni, half plain.
I love mushrooms on pizza.
I do too. I
And
love
in
onion on
spaghetti
pizza.
sauce.
Onion on pizza?
Oh yeah. Thinly sliced
Yes.
onions on top of a pizza. Phenomenal.
Yeah. We used to go to the Double Whopper for breakfast after a night out. Lawrence BK. Ugh. Dude, there is a crab rangoon pizza right now on not main slice. It's Grains and Taps. It's another local place down in downtown.
The
Summit.
original crab rangoon from Fong's in Detroit, in Des Moines, is unbelievable.
People are saying that Casey's just added a jalapeno popper pizza.
Oh God!
Wow,
I gotta stay away
dangerous.
from that. Dude. I gotta stay away from that. Might be too rich though. But
Hot
that's
honey
also
drizzle?
perfect. Hot honey drizzle.
That's what they said on the pizza. Jalapeno popper, really good cream cheese, and a hot honey drizzle. I'm all about that.
Sounds like a DVD I used to have. That is a made up story. Burnt end breakfast burritos. I still think if it's a
burnt ends and eggs are phenomenal.
fantastic. I always used to tell people that when they take home their barbecue. I'm like, make a barbecue omelet in the morning. You will blow your mind.
I mean, it's
insane.
phenomenal.
Like if you have brisket or pulled pork left over or burnt ends, throw it in the skillet, throw the scrambled eggs
And
in,
on
mix it
top
together,
and mix
fold
it together, make a burrito, make a taco. Oh my God, you're gonna love life. Whew.
Somebody says, Dusty, where's that slice of pie? Which one? The Crab Rangoon, Grains and Taps, downtown Lee Summit on 3rd Street across from Sharky's. It's fantastic. It's super thin, small pizza, too. Kansas City, go out there and do something nice for somebody today. You never know. Could change their day, week, month, or their year. It is simply cool to care. Be safe. Stay kind. Cody, Alex, and Gold. Cody, Alex, and Gold. Cody, Alex, and Drew coming up next from 10 to 2 on 610 96.5 The Fan. Just get off the microphone, Dusty.